tidy up, just make sure. Right, 20 contributors today, fellas. All cuts down on one game. On one game. That's time, fellas. Can't be worried about the other 9 minutes. Well, not going to help us, fellas. How much we got today? It's between 2:15 and 5:15 today.
Put pressure on one another all year with the reserves. They've done their job.
They've done their job. Halfway home. Okay? Let's get back to us now. I'm going to have a good talk about it Thursday night. Grand finals. Okay, we haven't performed all that well in the last couple, even though we won one. That's today. Today we go about it completely different because we're playing our game. We play our game. Take the risk. Run. Take the risk. We take the physical risk. We take the risk that are going to win us the ball. Okay? We cover up for each other. Okay? Accountability today. We're talking about accountability. One man. You beat your man, and we're fair part of the way home. If everybody beats their man, right, you must be aware of where he is when we haven't got the footy, and Imperials have got the footy. You must know.
Everybody pushes back. When we get a goal or do something good, make sure we get that fucking ball running.
Okay, plenty of
push across and let them know.
On the player that does that hard shepherd, the smuller. What about, when he's working hard, he's chasing. He's chasing 10, 15 and 20, but he's still coming at him. It just might pressure the opposition to kick the ball a bit high, going into their forward line and give us another opportunity. All those 1%ers, we put it into action today. Right up on your feet, just jog it up, lift the knees up, jog it up. Lift the knees up, lift the knees up. Small fellas. The one we want today. Have a good look. Can you see one, two, three, one? Nobody has to go. Eyeball every player. Okay, jog her up there, jog her up. Okay, we've got about 5 minutes. Just in pairs, fellas. Just couple of pairs there, going down in lines, just facing this way. Control the ball out of the bag. He's edging back. don't. That's what it's all about. Right? We play well as a team all year. We've been in grand finals before most of us. We know how they work. They're up and down. They're behind and only if we let the opposition run, then you know we give it away from there. But if we're prepared to do the hard miles, against the world.
In the 1997 Western Border League Grand Final, as the South Gambier Demons make their appearance onto the ground, led by Lee Capewell and Wayne Glenn. The reserves have just won the premiership. Leroy breaks the banner, and will they indeed go back-to-back in season 1997 to build on the 1996 premiership? The Demons are on the turf here at Mulseed Park, ready for the Western Border League Grand Final of 1997, and a terrific bunch of players. They are undefeated. And here they come with the mascots, Jumbo Jenkinson, Dean Jenkinson, the captain coach of the side. Well, certainly the coach, he may not be captain, but we're playing with words there. He's a great leader. And they did it very well against North Gambier in the preliminary final. They pushed South for 3/4 in the second semi-final. They've got a chance now with the rematch against the Demons here at Mulseed Park this afternoon in the 1997 Western Border League Grand Final. The Demons are on the track, and a very talented side they are too. They've got heart as well, plenty of pace, but perhaps just drop off a little quicker in quality players than the South Gambier side do. We'll soon know this afternoon. The Demons and the Bulldogs will go head-to-head here at Mulseed Park on KTV's coverage of the Western Border League Grand Final for 1997. Umpire Tony Magira to get us underway. The opening bout to Western Border League Grand Final A grade for season 1997. South and Imps, and Schlehecki goes against Ryan. Ryan got the second attempt. Came to Cooper. Good tackle on him. Ball comes loose, going harder. There was Matt Bowie for Imps, and Imps try and work it towards that scoreboard side of the ground. Imperials and South Gambier. South Gambier going slightly left, going left of screen and getting the first free kick of the game, and Mick Ryan gives off a handball. In fact, first free handball. It goes to McGregor. McGregor on the left foot, drives well inside half forward, or missing the mark that time was Smart of Imperials. Comes to ground, chance for Capewell. Hand pass over the top, looking for Brian Harris. First score coming up. Left foot kick on goal by number 24 is Bradley Sims, and they've kicked the goal, the Demons, to open the grand final for season 1997 on KTV, and a very good movement by the D's.
Gee, Jim, how costly was that drop mark by Smart? He was on his own 5 metres in front of Capewell, but the second effort by Capewell there really got the ball out to Dagger Harris and onto Bradley Sims for the first goal.
And terrific move. I think Smart did the right thing in attacking the ball, David.
Yeah,
but just didn't hold it.
Maybe nerves too, Jim. It's, as we said earlier, it's much easier to sit up here than what it is down there.
Darren Jacobson gets us underway, umpiring with Tony Magira today. The bounce is a good one. Schlehecki on Ryan, got the big thump towards Quinn, and the veteran gives it off beautifully that time, and they're running. It might have been Cooper who put it long towards that right half forward flank for the Imperial side this afternoon. Over the line it goes in front of Schletter. Number 11 coming in hard was Benny Dalglish. Number 25 there for the Demons is Johnny Clayton, and we have a throw in deep in attack for the Imperial side. South Gambier kicking left of screen, have the advantage of the breeze. High throw in umpire, boundary umpire Adam Gow got it down, and there's a free kick picked out here, and number 24 Eddie Barak might come out with the football, and in fact he will, David Case. And the big fella should have a big influence today.
He's the local constabulary at Hamilton, Jim, so I wouldn't mess with him if I was the South Gambier
kicking
boys.
valuably into the breeze from about 30 metres. Oh, and it's off to the right, and that was a let-off. You've got to make the most of those Imps, and big Eddie misses. Barak misses, and that's their first score of the grand final for 97 on KTV's coverage of the A-grade grand final here at Mulseed Park. At South Gambier and Imperials are underway. Imps have got a score. They're 1 point south of one straight goal, and the kick-in will be taken back there by the South Gambia fullback. who drives it long towards half-forward. Ryan got a fist on it. Beautiful over the top. The running player is Glynn, the veteran. Goes long from the square towards half-forward. Capewell in front of Smart, takes a mark and then dishes one out to number 19 in Sheldon Manley. And the ball will not be taken off him. Tony McGuire says, no, that's okay, Leroy, you can have the mark. And within about 35 metres of goal, he could bring up the Demons second, and that went from one end to the other very quickly. And South Gambier looking good. Opening moments of the 97 Grand Final on KTV.
Actually, Jim, his strength is going to be a big worry to Imperials, isn't it?
Terrible kick.
Body on body with Smart, mate. That's going to be a big contest there, and young Smart will really be on his mettle to hold Leroy, because I believe he's one of the keys in the South Gambier side.
1-1-7, the Demons, one behind Imperials. Opening moments, as we say, of the 97 Grand Final from Moleseed Park. The chip in short that time is good, and marked in the back pocket by Sheldon. In fact, it's Manley. He's got the ball. Sheldon Manley kicks it from back pocket towards that scoreboard side, which is the defensive side of the ground. South Gambier going with the breeze left of screen, and the Imps work it back towards wing. Sitting underneath at that time, number 21 was David Chant. Couldn't take control of it. And finally in front of Chant, goes over the line. Tony McGuire says you can throw it in, and it's slightly in the attacking side for the Imperials club.
Boundary line throw in now, right out in front of the scoreboard side here with South Gambier leading 1 goal 1-1. Both ruckmen at it now. Mick Ryan and Shalecki. Ryan with that big right-handed punch over the top. Comes out to Jason Rowe, the runner-up in the medal this year. Streams through the middle of the ground, but a free kick's been picked out in the pack there. Something must have happened off the ball there, Jim, because I didn't see what happened, but the ball comes out now to Muldoon. Muldoon goes wide to where Winterfield is in the contest there. Winterfield for South Gambier. McGregor's in there. In goes Jenkinson. Gets the ball away. Corey Jacobs has the run of the football now. He's over top of the ball. Gets onto that left foot to see a quick kick in there, and Imperials will mark the ball through number 5 in Brad Cooper. Cooper moves the ball on quickly now. Imperials have a chance here through number 11 and Benny Dalglish. Dalglish's kick just wobbles off the side of his boot, and it goes out in the left forward pocket, maybe 25, 30 metres around from the Imperials' goals, and they're going into a breeze at this stage with South Gambier leading 1 goal 1 to 1 point. Once again, it's big Eddie Barak in there with Mick Ryan. Two big men. Barak with his strength gets the ball through, but a free kick's been held against him for holding the ball, and Adam Salmon now will relieve for South Gambier.
Salmon off half-back, kicks it long towards this clubhouse side of the ground. Mullen runs underneath the ball, running onto it is Michael Mullen, in fact. The two Mullins together. Michael kicking left foot back towards Sims. Sims got a push from Muldoon, goes unnoticed. Harris first to recover. They're hot after him. Dagger Harris tries to keep the ball going South Gambier's way and might get a free kick for in the back. In fact, he will. And maybe a little soft, that one against Hassett, but Dagger Harris the kick from left half forward flank for the Demons, and they're looking to bring up their second goal of the afternoon. We're just underway, and the Demons kicking left of screen onto that northern goal, and it's Brian Harris from about 35. He'll start it right, hook it back left. It won't come back far enough. It drifts across the face, in fact, and through for another minor score to South Gambier. They got a 1 goal 2-8. Imperials are 1 point on the scoreboard this afternoon on KTV's coverage of the 1997 Western Border League A-grade grand final. They've had a win in the seconds, did the South Gambier side. They're looking making it back-to-back for 96-97 in the A-grade. Comes out wide. Chant went hard at it at that time for South Gambier. Couldn't get control. Finally close to the boundary line. Couldn't get a kick in that time, the South Gambier player. In fact, you'll get a free kick right over there, David.
Right out in front of it. Looks like Winterfield, Jim.
Left foot kick in towards half forward, punched away from Mullen that time by number 38, Aaron Nesbitt. To the boundary line it goes, and good defensive stuff by Imps. And they've started okay. They've got a point on the board against the breeze. South Gambier with a 2 or 3 goal breeze at their back, lead at 1 goal 2 to 1 point.
Boundary line throw in here again. It is the Rucks contest the ball here. The ball's running free. Imperials get a quick kick away. South Gambier have the numbers here. Mullen gets his body in very well there for South Gambier. Winterfield's out there alongside of great work by Jenkinson. Streams away with the ball. Has one bounce now. Comes down that outer wing, kicking in this face of the breeze. Looking for Eddie Barak and Finn. A great mark by Eddie Barak. Feeds the ball off. Imperials run the ball through half forward now. In towards where Mullen's in front spot. Well done by Michael Mullen, Jim. He worked his way to the front there, and Imperials certainly worked that ball beautifully around that half forward line. Back into the middle of the ground where Adam Salmon's in there to contest with Imperials. It comes out to Mick Ryan. Offloads to McGregor. How often do you see that with South Gambier? Molly Patzel out here in contest. 2 South Gambier players. Patzel's in there working hard. The Imperials player's done a fine job there. He's got his body in over the ball in player 21 and Matt Bowie. And well done to Matt Bowie. Jimmy had 2 South Gambier players to beat, and he got his body in over the ball with second and third effort, and was rewarded with a free kick, Jim, which was a fine effort when you consider he was outnumbered 2 to 1.
Bowie kicks it from this clubhouse side into that breeze, kicking in short, and did it well too. Hugged the boundary line, and it looks like Dalglish with the ball. No, in fact, number 16, that time it was Andrew Abbey, kicks in towards half forward, loose ball at the back, number 17, Mawson got it on very quickly that time, but Imps can't kick under pressure towards that goal. Mullen is in front of Quinn, pushing the back, seen by the umpire, Darren Jacobson, and it's Michael Mullen will kick from the defensive side of the ground as South Gambier go into attack, kicking with the breeze in this the first quarter, overrun by Michael Steer of Imps, and South try and work it out from that half back line, but they're under plenty of pressure. Number 15 that time was Mark Winterfield. It went nowhere, the kick. They close on him. Number 12 getting it there is Michael Steer again. Imps go back into attack. Quinn overran it. Beautiful pick up by Schletter, a long way from full forward. Went towards McGregor. McGregor got it back. So does Schletter, got it back. Went inside that time to Jenkins to Cooper. The kick from Quinn is a terrible, well, it's not a terrible kick in the end because they're underneath it. Imps kicking in towards full forward. Defenders wanted and clotting up behind Jason Rowe. Rowe gets on to try to get a hand pass away that time. Finally comes to ground, picked up by number 1 in Clinton Thomas. A tackle goes on the Imps player, and Rowe will clear it from defence for South Gambier. A long kick back inside the centre square. Spoil from behind was very good by Herman, but it was Grove by Mullen. The kick goes towards half forward. Smart's got the lead on Capewell, got a bad bounce. Players wanted in support. They get it that time to number 13 in Hassett. Hassett boots it towards that defensive side. Running on the ball over there is Bradley Sims. It goes to the boundary line on a hectic bit of play over the line for a throw in.
Boundary line throw in now, right out there at about the 50-60 metre mark out from South Gambier's goal, with South Gambier leading 1 goal 2 to 1 point. The ball comes in now. Shilecki and 39 Jones. They go for the contest there at the boundary line throw in. South Gambier run on the ball. Here's Capewell again. He's been very prominent. He's over top of the ball with sheer strength. Gets the ball out here to the running Sims. He gets the ball down to where Imperials now through their back line work very, very hard and have mopped up very well. Darren Sims and Muldoon at it here. Sims gets it back inside to Mullen. He's come a long way down for the back line. Good tackle by the Imperials player there. The advantage is played on, but Tony Magira sees fit now to bring it back, Jim. And David Hassett will relieve for Imperials. Crossed here to number 11 in Benny Dalglish, and he's been a star in the final series so far, Jim. Benny Dalglish for Imperials now. Will relieve for them. He kicks the ball in now. Up towards half forward. South Gambier, and a sensational mark there, Jim, by the South Gambier player in Matty Fear. He come right over the top and took a sensational mark and will relieve the pressure for South Gambier.
Fear kicks in towards the centre. McGregor unattended. Quick kick goes towards half forward for the Demons. Hit on by Mullen that time. Running players wanted. They try and work it out. Good tackle on the South player, and Imps will try and defend it around the clubhouse side. Kicking into the breeze. Good play by, looks like Cooper. Cooper kicks the ball back in towards half forward for Imps, but in front. A big mark to Michael Ryan. Mick Ryan in front of number 21 for Imperials that time, and Matt Bowie. The kick from Ryan. Where will it go? Back towards that centre square. Ball wobbles a little off the boot. The breeze carries it. Big leap from behind that time by Simon Jones. It comes behind for Mullen. Hard on him as Herman. Comes this time the hand pass given out, taken beautifully by Matthew Patzel. Patzel kicks on that northern goal, and it looks just to miss to the left. 1 goal, 3-9 South Gambier. Imperials, who are doing well in the context of the general play, are 1 behind.
And Jim, that wind is quite evident, isn't it? The ball's carrying a lot further going to the South Gambier than what it is to the Imperials end.
Kick in front that time. It might have been Schlehecki. It is indeed the ruckman. Gives the ball off to Manley. Manley from the back pocket to a half-back flank. Kicks it towards Muldoon, who's a long way up the ground, Jason Muldoon.
He's played well in the final series, Jim Muldoon.
Kicking from just the defensive side of the scoreboard wing towards half forward. In fact, there may be a 50-metre penalty here as Jason Rowe went over the mark. And Imps can go deep into attack. And we've got a contest in the Western Border League Grand Final for 1997 as Imps holding up very well against the breeze. The kick from Muldoon will come in from just short of the 50-metre mark. It chips away short into the pocket, and a good mark taken by Imps. They run onto that ball and drive long on that southern goal. It looks pretty good. Beautiful kick for goal by, it might have been Abbey. No, don't think so. We'll have to pick up that player for Imperials. Get a look of him. Number 1, in fact, Clinton Thomas. Delightful kick from Thomas, the receive from Muldoon, and the running player puts it through, and a handy goal into the breeze.
And Jimmy, one of the success stories of the Imperials Football Club in the final series has definitely been the move of Muldoon from up forward, where he played most of his footy, to that centre half back position. And Darren Sims and co down there, Simon Jones, they got to be on their mettle down there because he's a very good player, Muldoon, and one of the key figures in the Imperials Footy Club. South Gambier, 1 goal 3 to 1 goal 1 the Imperials Footy Club, with the 12-minute mark here of the 1997 Grand Final. Umpire Tony Magira to put ball back into play. Shilecki and Mick Ryan. Ryan with that big left hand comes out here towards Patzel. A nice little tap on by Mullen there. And over the ball is Patzel, but he's grabbed the Imperials player and infringed in doing so. And Andrew Abbey will take the free kick on half-back for the Imperials Footy Club. Andrew Abbey now to relieve pressure for Imperials. He drives the ball back. The ball holds up in the breeze. Players contest here across the half-forward line. Comes out beautifully out here to Michael Edwards on the ground now for the first time. South Gambier have numbers. Comes through here beautifully done to Matty Fair across to Duncan McGregor. McGregor on that trusty left foot looks for Capewell, but well done by Smart, Jim. A very important player there. He's won that contest with Capewell. Comes out wide to where Simon Jones and Scotty Herman gave it. Herman's done very well. Jones in there making the contest pretty heavily. He does a good job, Jones. Second and third effort. South Gambier work the ball out now beautifully there through Bradley Sims into where Smart and Capewell are. They're over the top. Imperials now through Aaron Nesbitt runs onto the ball, and the ball is rushed over the line for 1 point for South Gambier in 2 or 3 really good contests there. Jones, particularly on the far wing there, done a good job on his player. And South Gambier move along now to 1-4 to Imperials 1-1.
1-4-10, 1-1-7. A 3-point lead to the Demons, and the Imperials defence under pressure that time, but they stood up to it very, very well. Waiting to kick the ball in. The Imps back line pretty strong as it kicks towards that defensive side of the ground. Good leap from behind on the mark, will be paid. Imperials looking very good. Herman took the grab, gave it off very quickly, and away they go again. Imps through that centre of the ground. Number 21 on the good lead. That time is Bowie. Bowie breaks clear. Kicks on that right foot towards the defensive side of the ground. Barake's leading for the ball out there. He's got yards on Fear. Kicks on the left foot in towards centre half forward. Sitting under it, South Gambier in defence that time. Through Patzel, I think it might have been. Comes to ground. Mullen got a hand pass out that time, and good running player Edwards. They've allowed to play advantage football. Through the middle of the ground goes Edwards and kicks it long to half foot. Capewell in front of Smart and did the job. Leroy, the captain. Now this distance might test him.
Beautiful kick though, Jim. Kicks the ball a long way with that wind behind him, Jim. Like we've seen some of the reserves players kick goals from there, so I would say there'd be no reason why Leroy wouldn't kick this, Jim.
Now Michael Edwards, who drove the ball down, can just be seen on the four screen there, coming back to go on the interchange bench, so they'll make the move. He drove them deep into attack for Leroy Capewell to take that mark. Capewell leans back and goes bang, long kick from Leroy Capewell, and it is just missing. Yo, it's gold. Beautiful kick from Capewell, certainly had distance. The umpire signals all clear. Second on the board for South Gambier. They go to 2-4-16, Imps are 1-1-7. And Big Leroy, number 1, congratulated by Paul Mullen. And Edwards, who drove them forward straight off the ground again.
Yes, Jim. Obviously, Peter Sims wanted to have a bit of a chat, maybe to Molly Patzel about something, but he's certainly, like the South Gambier players, respect Peter Sims so much that they'd have no problems in doing that, Jim.
Darren Jacobson to get us underway again. We're at the 15-minute mark of the first quarter. Western Border League Grand Final for 97 on KTV. And the Demons are 2-4, Imperials are 1-1. Ryan, big hit from the centre. Towards centre half forward, tapped down by Harris. Jacobson's picked out a free kick this time, and will go defensively to the Imperial side. I can't see who's got that one. Might be Steer. Kicking towards centre half forward. Or screw punt. Didn't quite get onto it. Running out here, Dalglish got a bad bounce. Went behind. Here's Mawson. Back towards Dalglish. On the boundary line, twists and turns, got out of trouble, gave it beautifully back to Mawson. Mawson hooking it around nicely. Schletter wants a good run at this ball, but can't get it. Ryan got back, and they've interfered with Schletter. Glenn may have given the free kick away, and umpire Jacobson's picked it up. And I couldn't quite call it, David. I didn't see what it was for. He's saying for holding the man.
Yes, holding onto his jumper, Jim.
And if that's the case, it's a very good call by umpire Darren Jacobson, only a young guy, 23, 24 years of age. And now we have Chris Schletter. Number 14, the full forward for the Imperial side, to bring up their second goal into the breeze, folks. That's what's significant in this, the first quarter of the 97 Grand Final. A kick from Schletter is fading left. Did it do enough to stay on line? It might have. It has. And Chris Schletter gets his first for the afternoon and the second goal to Imperials. They go to 2-1-13, and South Gambier are 2-4-16. David.
Well, Jim, that's the advantage of the two umpire system, Jim, that they're generally in and around the mark, and they can generally pick up things like that. And obviously the umpire was right on the spot there, Jim, and a good decision, because I think Glennie did have it over him by the jumper. So we have a contest here, Jim, at the 15-minute mark of the 1997 Grand Final, with South Gambier leading 2-4 to the Hamilton Imperials Football Club, 2-1, with Umpire Tony McGurr to put the ball down into play again and commence play was Shalecki and Mick Ryan to go at it again on the centre bounce. Ryan's done very well, but this time Shalecki jumps over the top of him. Player number 17 for Imps there gets the ball out beautifully, but Mawson comes down to where South Gambier. Chant throws himself at the ball. Players are all over the top of it, but Darren Jacobson has awarded that they were too hard on Corey Jacobs, and Corey Jacobs will relieve the ball from half back. Jacobs goes out wide here looking for Duncan McGregor, and doesn't he know how to get on his own, Jim? Duncan McGregor now on the far centre wing, turns inboard on that left foot, comes down the centre corridor, walks around one player, gets onto that trusty left foot, looking down there for where Capewell and co are, but there's a good mark taken down there by Michael Herman. Michael Herman now relieves play and comes out here to Brad Cooper. Cooper's been a good player. Comes across here to player number 12 in Michael Steer, and Steer's got the ball on the half back. Steer now comes down to where Mick Ryan is. He'll need to be good. Ryan makes the contest very good. Gets his big trusty left arm up there and punches the ball away right in front of us here, Jim, and the crowd really has packed in here at Mulseed Park at this stage of the game.
2-4, 2-1, and we've gone to about the 20-minute mark, just short of that in the first quarter. Jason Rowe, quick kick towards half forward. Mullen got a bad bounce. Behind him, he's getting plenty of support. Adam Salmon, hot on his heel, is number 29, Michael Herman. It goes to the boundary line. Jason Muldoon comes in to do contest as well, and we'll have another throw-up attacking side for South Gambier. They have the breeze. It's worth a couple, and Imperials doing very well in the first quarter. Hit in by Sims, went to ground. Steer, nice handball out that time, and they come running out of the fence. Kicked by Clinton Thomas, who's already kicked a goal for Imps this afternoon. Good spoil from behind by South. Jason Rowe running onto it. He's very quick, but he's run down. Good tackle on him that time. Rowe comes over the top of number 11 in Mike Penny Dalglish. It comes forward to Mick Ryan. Ryan waits, gives a hand pass out. It was good play. They work it nicely into again, the Demons keeping possession. Back to Ryan from McGregor. The big fella goes for a run, Mick, and a high kick towards half forward. Someone might have got a handle. Leroy's sitting under it, but so is Manley. And a very good mark running back against the play that time by Sheldon Manley. Kicks towards that scoreboard side, which is the defensive side of the ground, and a good strong mark by Mawson. Mawson chips in short for Imperials to number 21, and that's Matt Bowie.
He's done well too, Jim, so far, Bowie. Bowie comes in board now for Imperials. Players here, Eddie Barak here. South Gambier stand tall. The ball's brought to ground. Umpire Jacobs lets the ball go and will bounce the ball right inside the 50-metre mark here for Imperials at this stage. And they've trailed South Gambier 2 goals 4 to 2 goals 1 here at Mulseed Park in Mount Gambier in this grand final for 1997 on the first Sunday grand final in the Western Border League. Darren Jacobson now. He'll put the ball down. Mick Ryan and big Eddie Barak will go at it. Ryan goes at it with Barak. The big boys go at it there. Plenty of bulk and weight there, Jim, amongst those guys. It quickly comes out by Winterfield into towards the middle of the ground. Muldoon on Sims. Muldoon does it well. Imperials now come back inside. They have players free here through number 11 in Benny Dalglish. He puts the ball up towards the face of the square, but Wayne Glynn uses his body and his experience very well to punch the ball over the line, leaving a minor score only for Imperials, and they currently trail at the 20-minute mark of the Western Border Grand Final, 2 goals 4 to 2 goals 2.
2-point margin, as David called it, and South Gambier with the breeze in the first quarter. They'd want a couple more on the board before quarter time. We're at the 20-minute mark of the first, and back they come into attack, towards that centre square. Ryan going hard at the ball. They try and work it clear. Glenn, good feed to Harris through the centre square. Long high ball towards half forward. The high flyers wanted. Smart got a hand on it. Came running loose here. Mullen. Smart recovered very, very well, going over the top of him and getting a free kick. He will, in fact, back there will be number 7 in Mark Smart for Imperials.
I tell you what, Jimmy, both umpires have done a great job so far. They haven't missed a thing. They've been very, very good.
The Bulldogs coming out of the fence. Hand passes from Smart is to Manley. He's got plenty of time. This way, that away. Comes back onto the scoreboard, rather the clubhouse side. Nice kick, that one. Was it out on the full? Yes, it was indeed. Before number 38, Aaron Nesbitt, could take the mark. And Leroy Capewell will get the free kick for South Gambier. He has a goal to his name already and boots it long. A beautiful kick from Capewell, well inside the 50-metre line. Big hands that went up that time. Number 39 almost got it. Simon Jones. Umpire McGear has made a call, and it'll be a free kick to South Gambier. And it may have been for a throw, and yes, Simon Jones will come out and shoot on goal at that northern end with the breeze behind him, and will get a handy one for South Gambier, who lead it currently 2-4 to 2-2, 2-point margin. And Simon Jones should drill this. Ooh, wobbles off the boot. Is not a good kick. 2-5-17, 2-2-14, and they're the sort of goals in the grand final, David, you must nail.
Particularly going with the breeze too, Jim. You'd like to think you'd better kick those.
Gee, it wasn't perhaps a nervous kick from Jones. They'll bring it in again. Smart. Chips it short, Manly. Set play, Manly chipping onto that, the defensive side, scoreboard side, running underneath at that time. The big ruckman, 36 is Schlegecki. Schlegecki kicks it long. Mawson almost got hands to that one. Comes to ground, beautifully fed off to Mullen. Mullen chipping into half forward. One-handed attempt that time by the South Gambier players. They fall on top of him. Might have been Bradley Sims who went down there. In fact, it was, and we'll have a ball up. Number 13, Mick Ryan, goes into assist. And South just not looking clean at the moment, are they, David?
No, they're a little bit nervous, Jim, and I would say that they'll need to settle because they've got a 2 or 3 goal breeze, and we're well and truly into the first quarter, so they'll maybe need to manufacture 2 or 3 goals here, and they got the chance now because they're inside their 50-metre mark as Magura takes control of the ball now on by Magura. But Jim, Imperials have done a good job. They've worked hard, and they've had a good work rate so far, and they've certainly made a contest of it so far.
Magura puts us underway. Ryan, Schlegecki, in fact, Muldoon went in. Dagger Harris, Brian Harris got a hand pass. Jones got a quick kick forward. Here's the running player in Capewell. Mullen going to lend a support. Shepherd, Leroy, and he tries to. Trent tries to come inside. The big man tries to break the tackle, and he's caught holding the ball.
Good decision by Magura because he did have prior chance to get rid of the ball, as they say now in the umpire's terminology, Jim, and you'd know all about that one.
It's a good battle going out there between Smart and Capewell, I can tell you, David. Ball kick long. Scotty Herman's got a chance now to run onto this one, and he does, but he misses it. Going back and putting plenty of pressure on what may have been McGregor, but it comes to Mawson, works inside, a lovely hand pass, Schlegecki, back to Mawson. Mawson kicks on the right foot, trying to get inside the 50-metre square, but not quite. Good mark from behind, taken by Dalglish, got it to Cooper. Cooper on, gives it this time to Thomas, who's already got 1 goal. Clinton Thomas shoots on that southern goal. In front is Glenn, good defensive mark in front of Schletter. Then the hand pass quickly away was very good play, and they work at South Gambier around that outer side, around that scoreboard side. Johnny Clayton, it might have been, he got a kick right back there in that defensive line. And finally, I think a free kick coming. David, you might have picked that one up.
Eddie Barak just accidentally put him down after he kicked the ball, Jim, but it was definitely a 50-metre penalty.
Kicking down the ground that time, and the mark taken by number 17 is Brad Mawson. So the turnover's costly so far. Good defensive stuff. They run out of the fence to South Gambier. Long kick towards half forward. Harris in front from behind is Ryan at centre half forward now having a spell. Comes to ground. Muldoon's working hard in there. Ryan got it to Mullen. Danger for Imps now as they try and work inside 50, but the hand pass from Mullen was wide. The ball back to Muldoon. They'll tidy up here if he can get clear. He does. Chips it away very neatly. They've got room through Cooper. Brad Cooper, the Darwin recruit, on the run. The weather will suit him. He chips in towards centre half forward. The punch away was very, very good that time from Clayton. To ground it comes. Harris on the right foot. Boots it back. Ryan needs to get the good bounce here. The bounce is high for him. The tap on was almost, well, it was intelligent, but didn't quite come off. Kick off the ground from Smart was not intelligent, and the free kick will go to South Gambier, and perhaps Leroy Capewell again will kick in deep into attack for the Demons, slightly inside the 50-metre arc, but on a very difficult angle, and the captain will kick it long towards that northern goal.
It's not beyond him either, Jim. It's inside the 50-metre mark.
You'd want to be a good kick there from there, David, though.
Yes, it certainly would, because he's deep in the forward pocket. I'm saying the distance won't trouble him, Jim. It'll only be the accuracy, because he certainly is one of the best kicks in the league lengthwise. It'll be just a matter of seeing whether he can get the accuracy. Waiting on the captain now, Vice-Captain Leroy Capewell now, coming in to have a shot. He's given it a fair old roost, Jimmy, and a great mark.
Ooh,
Big Mickey Ryan just floats across in front of the pack and takes a beautiful mark. And I feel sure now from like 5 or 10 metres out that Mick Ryan will definitely make this one count.
Gee, they need it though, David, don't they?
They certainly do.
They lead 2-5-2-2 with the breeze at their back, and we have reached the 25-minute mark.
Yes, we certainly. Mick Ryan comes in now and kicks very, very accurately for his first goal, and that takes South Gambier along to at the 26-minute mark of the Western Border Grand Final 1997 to 3-5, leading Imperials 2-2 with about 2 or 3 minutes of maybe time on to go. Well, Jim, that was very significant. A long kick by Capewell, and the big fella put his hands up, Mick Ryan, in front of the pack and took a very well judged mark now. So we'll see what happens now as Jacobs comes back now to put the ball back into play into time on period here in the first quarter of the 1997 Grand Final. Darren Sims in ruck now against Shalecki, and this will be see what happens here because Shalecki goes at it. Darren Sims crashes hard at the ball. Muldoon waits back at the back of the pack. Good contest by Jason Rowe there to smother the ball off. Players come through. Simon Jones onto that right foot, puts the ball down deep in towards the forward pocket, but unfortunately for him and for South Gambier, it's offline, and one point is registered, so that takes South Gambier now on to 3-6, leading Imperials 2-2.
Would have been a handy one as we close on the time-on period now. Well in the time-on period of this, the first quarter of the Western Border League Grand Final. Final moments in this, the first quarter. Kick wide, 21 Bowie that time. Hit away from him by Harris to ground. South Gambier taken out of the play that time. It was Salmon who went to ground. Harris goes back in. Good second effort by Dagger Harris. And finally to the boundary line. It's forced on the full, in fact, and it'll be a South Gambier ball. Adam Salmon. Well outside 50, but he'll get well inside 50 on the kick. Playing in the centre, Salmon. It'll be a good battle between he and Cooper. The kick is long from Salmon. Ryan pushing and shoving. Big leap from behind that time. Jones came to ground. Here's Mullen. Mullen will go in towards an open goal. The ball just eluding him. No, he might have got foot the ball. Did Mullen? No, touched on the line. And it's through for 1 point only.
Good effort by the Imps boys there, Jim. They really pushed back because the ball was rolling away from them, so it was a damn good effort to get their hand on the ball.
Gee, would have been a handy one for South too. We played 27, maybe 28 minutes of this the first quarter, and it's 2-2-14. Imperials, South Gambier on the scoreboard, a 3-7-25. Kick to come in by Smart. Mark Smart, who's had a good battle with Capewell already. Capewell's got the 1 goal. And he comes to this, the clubhouse side, which is actually the attacking side for South, so he took a risk. Shalecki can't take it, finally come off hands. Here comes the number 12, who works very well, Michael Steer, got it onto Jumbo Jenkinson. The coach is away, he's had 2, he's had 3. He boots it in towards half forward, good move, just over the head that time of Barrake. Running players wanted, Glynn is back there, coming hard at him, Mawson, and Glynn just goes for the safety of the boundary line, and it does go into touch just in front of Eddie Barrake. Johnny Clayton hard on his heels, and we'll have a throw in deep in the left forward pocket for Imperials. They trail it 2-2-3-7, and we're just about full time in this, the first quarter of the 97 Grand Final on KTV. Throw in nice and high. Sims in ruck. Schletter was there as well. Comes to ground. Jason Rowe trying to work in that traffic. Comes out of the pack to no one in particular. Tight contest in there. The traffic very heavy. Here's Jenkinson. Good feed off that time to number 13 and David Hassett. The ball kicked high, wide, and not very handsome by Hassett. It'll be another free kick for an on the full to South Gambier, deep in the back pocket. And number 7 will take it. Corey Jacobs will take the ball for the Demons. 3-7-2-2, and Peter Sims would want to have a good talk at quarter time, David.
Yes, they want to be switched on this next quarter because Imperials will go with the breeze in the next quarter, although, Jim, like any lead at any stage of the game is always important, isn't it?
Simon Jones taking possession out there, and illegal tackle on Jones, and Jones will kick from the scoreboard side. Going left, no, in fact, it's Darren Sims. Sims will kick short. Not a very good kick again. Casual with their kicking, South Gambier. The skill's not all that good at the moment. The pressure of a grand final. Players stacks on the mill. Number 15, the 2 number 15s, in fact, that time. Mark Winterfield was one of them for South Gambier on screen.
We're well into time on now, Jim, too, so there can't be much longer to go.
Sims went high. Good call, David. You got it right. Right on quarter time. The umpires now hear the sirens. Not all that loud here at Mulseed Park. But at quarter time, the South Gambier Demons lead the grand final. 3-7-25 to the Imps Bulldogs. 2-2-14. Second quarter about to get underway. Western Border League Grand Final for 97 from Mulseed Park on KTV. The Demons now going right of screen, and it's Cooper who gets first touch out of the centre for Imperials. Kicks it back towards that half-forward line, sitting under it and taking a good mark that time. Number 13 for the Imperial side is David Hassett. Now, important start for Imps. They have the breeze at their back. Couple of goals, certainly. The kick by Hassett is long. South defence getting back there, and they do it very well through Johnny Clayton. And he's got the mark in the back pocket, and he'll turn the tide for the Demons. They lead at 3-7-2-2, and Peter Sims, David Case kept the South Gambier boys in the huddle for a long time.
Certainly did, Jim, which goes to show that he wanted to make his point loud and clear, and obviously might not have been quite as happy as what he could have been at quarter time, but we'll see what happens in this second quarter.
Mick
now,
Ryan,
Jim.
a long hand pass looking for Jason Rowe. Working hard on it that time is Clinton Thomas, who kicked the opening goal for Imperials. Kicks it long back and half forward. Taken by Hassett. Kicks the ball in, but it's all South Gambier back down. Wayne Glynn sitting back will take a defensive mark from the kick of Hassett. He'll come out to this, the clubhouse side, attacking side of the ground for the Imperials team. Ryan goes up and takes a very strong mark over Brad Cooper. And Mick Ryan, the medalist in 96, kicks it towards the centre wing on the clubhouse side. In front is Jones, and a very good mark taken by Simon Jones. And they look fairly settled at the minute. South Gambier went to play on, just as I said that, and got into trouble. The ball is pushed wide. Schlehecki, the ruckman is tackled. Came loose that time to, again, Hassett. Finally comes in towards this half-forward flank. Ryan's going to get 2-1 against him here, and he goes for the safety of the boundary line. And Darren Jacobson says, that's okay, throw it in. And the umpire will put us back into place. 3-7-2-2, opening moments of the second quarter at Moleseed Park in the 97 Western Border League Grand Final. Ryan from the side, Schlehecki. Steer, couldn't take control. Mawson did. Long hand pass, clever tap on that time from Cooper towards Jenkinson. The captain coach couldn't keep his feet, but they did it well. In goes Steer, runs on that northern goal. Beautiful bit of play, and Michael Steer slams it through. A very clever hand pass came out to him from his Imps teammate, and Steer puts it through, and they go to 3-2-20. South at 3-7-25, and Imps get the first one of the all-important second quarter. Number 21 gave the handball, Matty Bowie.
Good slick handball by Bowie, and a good contest by Jenkinson just to keep the ball inside the boundary line by knocking it on. And a lovely goal finished off by Matty Steer. Back in the middle of the ground here with South Gambier leading 3-7 to Imperials 3-2 as Darren Jacobs will put the ball back into play for the start, well into this, like 5 minutes into this second quarter here at Moleseed Park, with South leading 3-7 to 3-2. Mick Ryan goes at it hard, can't get his hand the ball. Jason Rowe, beautifully rode, gets the ball away from the centre here and kicks out beautifully in front of Capel. Good bit of ruck work, good bit of roving work, and a beautiful lead by Capel. And if he finishes this off, this will be a fine piece of play which will inspire the South footy team out there playing in this grand final today at Moleseed Park.
This is a very important kick, David, for the captain.
Certainly is.
He's got one, and it is a very good kick.
Yes, it's an excellent kick, Jim. And I can tell you what, this man here, when the pressure's on, he's the boy that you want to have the footy with, and Leroy Capel. But give credit back to Mick Ryan and Jason Rowe. First of all, Ryan's bulk. Secondly, Rowe's explosive pace out of the centre, and then his finishing skills to put the ball right in the hands of Capel. And South Gambier, in typical fashion, answer very, very quickly with a goal, and they lead 4-7 to Imperials 3-2.
And it was 3 touches, Ryan, Rowe, Capewell, and goal against the win for the Demons. 4-7-31, 3-2-20. On KTV's coverage of the Western Border League Grand Final. It goes towards Steer. He's already got a goal as well. Kicks it long from the centre square. Sitting underneath it is Glynn. And that's a very good mark, Glynn, that time. David Hassett coming in late. Glynn chips it across this time. Running player out here is Mark Winterfield. He runs onto that left foot and kicks it towards the scoreboard side. Going up in front, not paid the mark that time, was Andrew Abbey. It goes to the boundary line, and the wingman couldn't take control. And there'll be a throw in on that outer side of the ground. The scoreboard side of the ground, slightly in Imperials attacking section. They're going left of screen with the breeze. Schletter and Ryan. Ryan got hands to it. Winterfield. Ryan goes over the top again, going in against him hard. That time was Bowie. Works the ball towards Steer, but we'll have another throw in on that scoreboard side of the ground, with Imperials going left of screen with the breeze. Mick Ryan on screen there. The big ruckman, and he's done very well. Already got a goal himself in that first quarter, and a very decisive palm to Jason Rowe, who got it on to Lee Capewell for the first of the second quarter for South Gambier. To the boundary line it goes. Steer kicked out of that situation by Imperials, right up in front of the goal square. 1-on-2 that time, and Big Eddie Baraker's got the mark, and he'll kick from about 10 metres out, very slight angle. In fact, he's being pushed around a little bit more now for his first of the afternoon, and what an important goal it will be for Imperials. They trail 4-7 to 3-2. And kicking with the breeze, they get their second, I think. It looks a good kick from Barake. He's quite happy with it. No, he's not happy with it. In fact, offline, and that's an important miss. As Cape was an important get at one end, Barake, bad miss at the other.
You talk about Capel's strength. What about Barake's strength too, Jim? Two big boys. Two huge boys.
Ball back into play. Nice kick out to Mullen. And ball covered 50 metres beautifully that time. Mullen, the chip onto the running player out there in number 32, who is Matthew Patzel. Patzel on the left boot, kicking in towards half forward. Jones went one-handed, and there's a free kick being picked out for Imperials. Jason Muldoon will take it. And in fact, may not be him.
I don't think it is, Jim.
No, and a 50-metre penalty given that time. The ball not given back correctly. Scotty Herman. And Herman will go very deep into attack now. In fact, inside the 50-metre arc.
Tell you what, Jim, that's not a bad 50 metres.
He'll kick it long. Boy, oh boy, that was a long 50. And Scotty Herman doesn't go long. He chips in short, which wasn't the best option. Glynn was in front, no free kick. Goes to ground, picked up and given a clearing kick by number 15 that time, and Mark Winterfield towards the outer side of the ground in front of Andrew Abbey. And it'll go over the line on the full, so it will be a free kick. Patzel it may be over there for South Gambier. On the left foot, kicks it towards that scoreboard win position, but in front and taking an almost uncontested mark was Matt Bowie.
Matt Bowie now on the far outer side wing here will relieve the pressure for Imps at this stage. Bowie now comes in, kicks the ball in short now and finds the Imperials player over there on his own on the far side of the ground. I was too far away for me to pick up. He brings the ball inboard towards half forward. Beautiful lead and a beautiful kick into the arms of Brad Mawson. That was a nice lead, Jim, and certainly a well-weighted kick and landed in the arms of Brad Mawson. He would be 35, 40 metres out, Jim, and this is one he would need to kick, I think, just to even up for the one that Capewell got a minute ago. But if he can kick this goal, all of a sudden, you know, there's only 4 points in the game because they currently lead, trail South Gambier by 4-7 to 3-3. So Brad Mawson now lines up 30, 35 metres out. Should be able to perhaps kick this goal. He comes in very close on the mark, like it's underneath the ball, and maybe didn't perhaps go back quite far enough, Jim, and never looked like kicking the goal, and it's gone through a point, which adds to the Imps score, and they go to 3-4, trailing South Gambier 4-7.
The precision kicking in the general play has been very good. Finding a teammate with the kick's been terrific, but the kicking for goal, a little bit ordinary in this grand final of 97. Glynn got the hand pass from Mullen and kicks it up towards that scoreboard side on that defensive side of the ground. It'll be over the line. We'll have another boundary throw, and a lot of the play will be out there today with the breeze just springing up a little. It's a couple of goals, no more, and Imps have it at their back in this the second quarter. They trail currently by 9 points.
And in ruck infringement there, Mickey Ryan came in too late, Jim, and give a free kick over the back. I think that's Slater there, I think, with the ball. Is it Jim or not? Is that like
Schletter, it is
Slater
indeed,
it is.
and he's a long way from full forward, David.
Right,
He's playing there, kicks it long to half forward. Players go up. Glynn got a defensive punch to ground. It goes. Players fall on top of it. Mawson's over the top of the ball, and umpire Darren Jacobson says, I'll have a bounce.
Just falling down a little bit, Imps, aren't they, Jim? Like within that 15, 20 metre mark from their goal front, and they really need to get blokes like Barak and that in front of the pack, Jim, more often perhaps to take a mark.
Barak will go in the ruck this time against Ryan. The bounce, not a good one. Comes to Jenkinson. He couldn't take control. And they stacks on the mill again. It's about 30 metres less than that, perhaps, from the Imperials' goal. They're attacking left of screen with the breeze, and they trail 4-7, 3-4. Not a lot in this game in the 97 grand final, and let's hope it's a close one for you because it makes the viewing much better and more interesting, and we're getting that at the moment. Ryan goes in hard. The South Gambier fans won't want that. They want a big win, but so will the Imps boys. But it's neck and neck at the moment. The kick not good from Adam Salmon. That was a very tired kick from Salmon, and it's gone over the line on the full, and Matt Bowie will bring it back in. Chips it across in towards centre half forward, just short of that position, and the mark taken by Schletter, who must be rucking or on the ball, I think, David.
I think he's rucking now, Jim, I reckon. I reckon he's been in the last couple of contests in the middle of the ground.
Kicks well inside 50, but sitting underneath it and dropping the mark is Mick Ryan that time. Unforgivable error by Ryan, but he's backed up by Glynn. Terrible kick from Schletter. The kick from Glynn going wide onto that scoreboard side. Numbers out here. Tim's got the numbers. Can they work something from here? Stacks on the mill. Abbey goes over the top of it. Umpire Jacobson intervenes again, and we'll have a ball up just outside 50, the 50-metre square, that is, for the Imperial side, who trail 3-4 to 4-7. The Demons in front by 9 points, and we've come to the 10-minute mark of this, the second quarter, in the 97 grand final here from Mulseed Park on KTV.
I can't believe, Jim, that Imps are leaving both Mick Ryan and Wayne Glynn unattended down here. They must be... obviously, perhaps South are playing an extra man down back, but you'd think that Imps would just send someone forward, Jim, to pick one of those guys up, because they're just both taking chest marks. We have it here again at the moment with Glynn on his own and Big Mick Ryan on their own off screen. So Imps will really need to address that problem somehow, Jim.
Cooper with the ball from the pass from Muldoon, and this will take a very good kick from this side of the ground, but with the breeze at his back, he certainly could cover the distance. Accuracy will be also important here as Brad Cooper gets very close to the man on the mark and therefore forced to kick it high, and is offline. It will go to the right for a minor score only. And so they go to 3-5, 23 Imperials, the Bulldogs, and South Gambier, the Demons, are 4-7, 21.
and Corey Jacobs will relieve the pressure now. He'll kick out from fullback. Corey Jacobs is a designated kicker, kicks right down the middle of the ground. Beautiful kick, but there, I tell you what, he's having an impact on the game. Chris Slater comes out here now to Brad Cooper. Cooper's beautiful chip pass finds Benny Dalglish, and I would say that would have happened quite a number of times during the year because both these players are very, very good footballers. So it'll be interesting to see now what Benny Dalglish can do, Jim. But I tell you what, they need a goal. They need a goal very, very, very badly at this stage because they'll need to be in front at half-time if they're going to have any chance against this South Gambier side.
Dalglish is confident. He took his time, fancies his chances, gets the kick on the way. They like it. The people at that northern goal for Imperials give it a clap. Big Eddie likes it, and Benny Dalglish on screen, number 11, has got his first of the afternoon, and it brings the Imperials within 2 points. 4-5, 4-7. The Demons by 2 points, and we're at the 11-minute mark of this, the second quarter. Not a very good kick from Dalglish. He was very confident, deliberated on the kick, took his time, and the result very good. The outcome and the finish from Benny Dalglish very good. And the youngster gets a very vital goal. Imps within 2 points. Now in critical time as coming back onto the ground is Edwards for South Gambier. I'd missed who went off.
It was young Winterfield, Jim.
Sims in ruck. Schletter got first use for Imps. They try and work it forward. Mawson tackled to ground. Player stacks on the mill. John Clayton's out. Salmon in the forescreen. And it will be balled up by umpire Tony Magira. The umpires have done a good job.
Fantastic job at this stage, Jim.
Keeping good control. Beautiful day for footy. Darren Sims, Schletter got it. Kick by Imps is towards forward. Glynn in front. Doesn't take control. Good sport from behind Barake. They're looking all right, Imps. Hand pass Barake went wide. Cooper this way, that away. Jen chips in short into the pocket and running on and marking the ball down there just on the ground for Imperials. We'll have to pick him up. And
Matt Waters, Jim.
The Waters who won, I think, the reserves medal, David.
Oh, is that correct? So that's a good effort. If he can kick this goal, Jim, by geez, tucked away in the forward pocket, though.
The most difficult angle at Mulseed Park. Waters the kick for goal. Chips away. And Glynn got a hand on it, I think, just in time.
That's a goal, Jim. I reckon that's a goal. It certainly is.
Wayne Glynn didn't get there in time, and Imperials lead the 1997 Western Border League Grand Final. They've hit the front, 5-5-35. South Gambier 4-7-31, and we're at about the 13-minute mark of this, the second quarter. Beautiful kick for goal from Waters, and perhaps poor defence in the end by South Gambier. Glynn having to make a lunge at the last minute wasn't good enough, and Imps have the lead. They lead it by 4 points in the 97 Grand Final and settle back and enjoy the action on KTV. It'll be a big one. Magira to get us underway. Ryan back in ruck. Barake's up against him. Big Mick goes high to ground. Duncan McGregor, left footer. Herman cut it off. Dagger Harris has been quiet, but he works hard on this one. Tapped out by South Gambier. Running player is Edwards. He's been handy. Off the bench, Edwards fires on that southern goal, but he's offline to the right. And they get a little closer, do the Demons. 4-8 now to 5-5.
And Jim, just one thing I've picked up, Imperials are using 2 or 3 players in their ruck work, Jim, obviously trying to wear Mick Ryan down. So that could have some significance as the play goes on. The ball back in the middle of the ground. Darren Sims gets underneath his player, but Jason Rowe's been taken by the ankle, Jim, and will take a free kick right in the middle of the ground here. Jason Rowe, the on-baller and the runner-up in the Western Border medal this year, Jim. Rowe now comes inside looking for Capewell, and Capewell will take the mark, and I don't know, Jim, whether do you think he perhaps pushed him in the back?
No, just body work. Good body work.
Good body work by Leroy, and he will shoot on goal. I'll tell you what, Jim, we set him in to go. He kicked one from here, and if ever you want the ball in someone's hand in a situation when you're 3 points down, this is the man you want to have the ball in your hands with. Capewell now kicks from 35 metres, and I reckon he's kicked it, Jim. The umpire has run to one side, but that's another goal to Capewell now. That gives Leroy Capewell 3 goals for the match, and he's by far the leading goal kicker on the ground at this stage, and that rests the lead back for South Gambier, who lead 5-8 to 5-5 here at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter of the Western Border Grand Final at Mulseed Park.
Well, a very handy goal by the captain. When they want one, they got one from the skipper. And very, very handy indeed. 5-8 against the breeze, 5-8-38. Imps are 5-5-35. 15 minutes of football left in this, the second quarter. It is up for grabs, the 97 Grand Final. The bounce Ryan to ground. Is this Dalglish? It is on left foot. No, in fact, it's Abbey. Left foot kick goes wide. Running after it is Michael Mullen. Takes the bump well from, that was Dalglish. In towards Edwards, who's got good leg speed. Hand pass to Duncan McGregor, the veteran. Goes inside, looking for the running player from the back line. Gets it in Clayton. Clayton under pressure. Steer will take it off him. Goes to ground. Players falling on top of it out of there. And a free kick picked out. They have picked it out, and the free kick will go to Imps. And they'll go. Someone hurt for Imperials too. Number 17, Brad Mawson's hurt.
Tell you what, Jim, it's stepped up a notch now, hasn't it? This game has really, really stepped up a notch.
Abbey to Jenkinson, but the umpire, Tony McGuire, said, well, hang on, we've got an injured player, and he's directly in the field of play there, so we've got to stop and get him out the way for his own safety. But he looks okay, Brad Mawson, just made a cop one on the finger of the hand. And Jumbo Jenkinson, Dean Jenkinson, the coach, will kick from the square.
No, it's going back to Mawson.
Yep. Hand pass from Abbey to Jenkinson. Finally, Jenkinson gets the kick, kicks it long, defensive side. Good lead out there by Bowie. And Bowie, with plenty of speed, takes the mark. Now, he's inside 50, but a very difficult angle. And the Doggies will trail by 3 points. And he'll kick. A couple of leads coming, one from Cooper ignored, and he'll go back, mark his spot. And Matt Bowie will kick from about 48 metres by the time the ball hits the boot. Deliberate. With the breeze, long kick from Bowie is a pretty good one, just across the face. Eddie Barake from behind's got it. Whoa, big leap, Barake. It was a terrific leap and well set up by the Imps boys coming in. Lovely kick, Bowie.
He's a big man, Eddie Barake, isn't he, Jim? A huge man.
And a one-grab player too, but he's right on the angle. The coach has run across to have a word to him. Duncan McGregor with Jenkinson. They leave the scene, and Big Eddie will shoot for goal right on the angle.
Important kick, Jim. Very important.
He'll run around, mark my words on that. Here he goes, hooks it back, and I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good, all right, and Imps are back in front. Imperials go to 6-5-41. The Demons are 5-8-38, and what a contest we have on our hands in the 97 grand final from Mulseed Park in Mount Gambier.
6-5. Imperials now lead South Gambier 5-8, and we're at the 18-minute mark of the second quarter, and we have a contest on our hands here, Jim. Both two very talented football sides, and both beautifully disciplined in all their team play and their action, and highly skilled. And I can tell you that we are certainly enjoying this match at the 18-minute mark of the second quarter.
Eddie Barake ran back to the centre, but he's being sent back this time to the full forward line.
And Jim, it just goes to show that Imps are definitely rotating. They're rotating Barake, Shaleki, and they're also rotating number 14 in Chris Slater. So they're rotating three ruckmen on Mick Ryan, and obviously have a plan just to keep rotating those people through that centre square.
Tony McGuire gets us underway again. We're at the 17-minute mark, just over of the second quarter. Closing on half-time, Ryan and Schletter. Neutral, Ryan finally got the ball from the ground, went for the hand pass forward. South trying to work something out of here. The Demons desperate for a score now. The kick from Thomas is good on the left foot, long to half forward, sitting behind, and Taylor Dalglish.
Great mark.
Over Jacobs.
And just incidentally off the ball here too, Jim, Chris Slater's hurt in the middle of the ground. He might have copped the knee, I think, from Mick Ryan in the ruck contest. It was totally legal. There was nothing in it, just one of those clashes in the midfield. And he's certainly winded or has got a kick pretty severely in the lower stomach area, I would say. But
he's okay.
He's up at the moment, in his chest. As a matter of fact, he's holding his chest.
So Dalglish, who kicked one from much further out just a while ago, kicks for his second of the quarter. Beautiful kick off the boot, Benny Dalglish. And Imps have a handy lead. They race to 7-5-47. The Demons are 5-8-38, and they've got a contest on their hands, the 97 grand final on KTV. And the Demons have got some work to do against the Breeze in this, the second quarter. And they'll come out all guns firing, don't worry about that, but they've got to work hard. 5-8-7-5, beautiful kick from Dalglish. And Benny Dalglish is second for the quarter and causing Corey Jacobs some problems there in the forward line, David.
Yes, he's a very, very lively player, and South Gambier rotating players through the middle too. They've brought Simon Jones for a bit of strength in there, no doubt. Once again, it's Ryan. He's getting his hand on the ball beautifully there. Kicked off the ground by Jason Rowe. Mullins is up forward now. Peter Sims rotating his player. Michael Evans gets a quick kick, however, it's smothered off the boot. Imperials in first at the ball. Simon Jones works hard at ground level here. The ball comes down in front. Michael Evans hard at the ball, but Tony McGuire has picked out a free kick here right in front of us, Jim. It's going to be a free kick against Imperials. It'll go to Michael Mullins here, Jim, right on the centre wing in front of this very vocal crowd here at Mulseed Park. Michael Mullins goes in short, and it's chopped off beautifully by Imperials, who punched the ball over the boundary line there. That was Brad Mawson. Good effort by Mawson.
Just a couple of signs of not so much panic, but maybe a lack of confidence by the South boys at this stage. That chip from Mullen was nowhere near the mark. And normally they're a long kicking side, but he went short that time and they couldn't perfect it. Comes out the back. Edwards has got pace, but Scotty Herman went one-handed, got away with it to Steer. Steer hand passes wide. Muldoon wants a good bounce and gets it. Long hand pass to Smart. Is it back there? They kick the ball, rather handball long into Steer again, left and right he goes and hooks back on the left foot, back in towards the centre. Underneath it is Abbey, and he takes a good mark in front of Jason Rowe.
Got some good athletic boys, Imps, haven't they, Jim? They really do. It'll be interesting to see how they go as this game develops. A wobbly old kick, and Mick Ryan stands his ground at centre half back for South Gambier. Ryan now will relieve the pressure as South Gambier trails in this second quarter. Comes out here wide, looking for Michael Mullins. In there is young, good tackle there by the young fella in Aaron Nesbitt. Piggy Muldoon, as they call him, kicks the ball off the ground and takes it over the ball well. Well done by Jason Muldoon. A fantastic effort there to get in front of Molly Patzel and take the ball over. We're at centre half forward for South. Scotty Gould's on the ground for South Gambier as well, and he will contest the ruck with Muldoon now, obviously playing centre half forward, centre half back respectively. The ball comes down to Salmon, out to Sims. Imperials work hard here at the ball. Jason Rose in there. Players throw their body recklessly all over the ball. Simon Jones breaks away from the pack, but umpire Magira will come in and bounce the ball. And Jim, it's become a real contest now, hasn't it? They've locked it up, both sides locking it up.
Gee, they want the next one, Imps, wouldn't they? Be happy if they could kick the next goal and really put some pressure on South Gambier. South are in attack. Adam Salmon's rush on the ball, gets clear. The hand pass is cut off by Steer, who's played very, very well. Picked up by Mullen. He's taken out of the contest. They go deep into that forward pocket. Is Jason Rowe. The tackling is fierce and defensive stuff is very good as Manly got it across to Thomas. Thomas clearing kick for Imps coming from behind. Schletter hard into Ryan. To ground it goes to Chant. He's got time to steady. The hand pass is not direct. It doesn't go to his target in McGregor. They fall on top of the ball. I think we'll have a bounce. We will indeed. Darren Jacobson gets in. And very good defensive stuff by the Imps boys too, David.
They're hard at it, Jim. They are very hard at the body, and South Gambier for the first time for the year has been really put under the pump here at the moment. They're standing all right at the moment, though, because they're only just trailing by 9 points, but it's in their forward line. But Imperials work hard out here through Michael Steer. He gets the ball down forward. The ball's punched on here by Herman. The Imperials in the van here. Comes out to Quinn, who must have just come on the ground. Quinn gets the ball, stands his ground well. Overload handball here. Comes out to Brad Cooper. Brad Cooper kicks the ball, and Michael Edwards put him down just as he kicked it, Jim. I do believe might have been a bit soft, though, Jim. I don't know what your call would be. You're a very important umpire. You should know those decisions. Big Eddie Barak goes back. He is 40 metres out, and he has pumped it right through the middle for another goal to Imperials. And that little mistake by Michael Edwards might prove a little bit costly for South Gambier, even though I did believe it was a little bit soft. But a good goal by Barak, and Imperials lead 8-5, leading South Gambier 5-8 at the 22-minute mark of the second quarter in the 1997 Western Border Grand Final.
Well, I said if they got the next one, they'd really put pressure on South. They have got the next one, courtesy of a South Gambier infringement and mistake, a turnover, and that'll help them no end. 15 points in front, 38-53, and the Doggies look good so far in the 97 Grand Final here at Mulseed Park. Umpire Magira gets us underway again. Mick Ryan hard in ruck. Comes to the ground. Here's a chance for Jumbo Jacobson. The coach, number 4, falls on top of it. Supported by number 16, Andrew Abbey. And they are playing for keeps today, are the Bulldogs. Of course, remember, they came through the hard way. The slog in the mud at South Gambier last week against North. How much that's taken out of their legs, we won't know. But they've started the first half very, very well. To ground again. Another kick out of the centre by Steer. What a game he's had. The defence is under pressure. Mullen, hand pass nowhere. He'll get a free kick for a high tackle, and that'll go against number 13 in David Hassett. Michael Mullen it is, from half back to kick into attack. Now, what are his options? Not many coming. Not going to rush it. We'll go long. Kicks a good one into the breeze. From behind Jones. From behind him is Hassett. Well mopped up by Imps. They need a good bounce out here. Fear and Quinn. Quinn's not done much, but Matty Fear hasn't been in the play much either. To Mawson, who was hurt early, but he's recovered. Kicks on the right foot. It looks pretty good. Just offline, and that would have been handy. And Imperials go to 8-6-54. South of 5-8-38.
Jimmy, I just noticed the flags down in front of us here have picked up a little bit too, Jim. I think that breeze might be worth maybe 2 or maybe 3 goals now, I reckon, Jim, which could be significant in this next quarter coming up.
And they get it out of the defensive line. Bradley Sims got the kick in and kicks it wide, but again doesn't find the target. That's been the difference at the moment. Imps are finding the target when they go forward, and South not doing so. The kicking not good. Comes from behind that time. Number 24 working hard as Bradley Sims again. Kicks on that left foot back towards half forward. Running players wanted. Sims went high in the air. Number 29, Michael Herman's back there. They fall to ground. A tackle was put on the Imps player. Tony McGarrell lets it ride towards the boundary line, and Imps will be happy to see it go over there.
Imps back line standing up well, Jim, aren't they?
Very good.
Yes, they certainly are. They're standing up very well at the moment.
I think it's going to be a game of attrition, though, David.
Yes.
Just how the legs of Imps stand up. They've been very good early.
And don't forget, Jim, this South Gambier side is very, very good.
As they move forward, Sims got away from Muldoon. He'll go inside him, and Darren Sims kicks on the left foot. Now what can they make of this? The Demons from behind. A good grab taken by Jason Rowe in front of Clinton Thomas. Thomas couldn't do much about that one. The sit was there, and Jason Rowe, the rover, has taken a very good mark and kicked from about 2 or 15 metres.
He won't miss this, Jim. He won't miss this. He's a very good finisher, and Jason Rowe, I can tell you, likes nothing better than kicking a goal.
And one before half-time would be very handy. The margin at the moment is 16 points. Can he bring it back to 10? He does. And the Demons stay in touch just about on half-time. They go to 6-8-44. Imps are 8-6-54. The margin 10 points, and we're at about the 27-minute mark of this, the second quarter, the Western Border League Grand Final of 97 on KTV between South and Imperials.
And both coaches throwing their sides around, Jim. They're not frightened to throw different players. Peter Sims and Jumbo Jenkinson, they're not frightened to change players in the middle of the ground. They're rotating players all the time, which obviously is keeping fresh legs in there all the time.
Away we go again, and what a vital couple of minutes of play it'll be in this, the second quarter, and South work it forward nicely. Bradley Sims, an important play now, kicks down towards Capewell. Capewell will run into an open goal, and the Demons are back in the ball game. Leroy gets another one, 7-8, and he's kicked his fourth, says David. 7-8 now, looking good, 7-8-50 to Imps 8-6-54. Boy, oh boy, they are precious goals into this breeze, David.
And how good was Ryan there, Jimmy? Just got the ball down to Bradley Sims, and what about the acceleration and the power of Bradley Sims coming through on that left foot, and once the ball hit the ground, that man Capewell, mate, his speed over the first couple of steps is quite evident.
Mick Ryan's on a mission at the centre bounces now, David. He has really gone up a cog, as you'd expect the champion to. Schletter was good that time against him. Looks towards Edwards. Ball coming loose. Jumbo Jenkinson, the captain coach, goes to ground. Here's a chance. A free kick will be given. Yes, it will be, for a high tackle on Jenkinson. Didn't see a lot in that, but the call was made.
Obviously, Darren Jacobson was just a lot closer than what we were.
Kicked in short, and nicking up from the back pocket is Sheldon Manley, as we're about the 29-minute mark, and Imps would dearly love a goal now. They lead by 4 points. The margin at one stage was 16. Cooper kicks in short, cut off by South Gambier. Now an important passage too. They work it out through Herman. Scotty Herman fires on the northern goal. The ball starting to come back with the breeze. It'll come off hands, and South will be delighted to see it go through for the minor score. 7-8 to 8-6. Boy, oh boy, were they precious, those last two for the Demons.
Oh, yeah, certainly were, Jim. And like as I said, just prior to that, like a champion team all year like South Gambier, you know that they're going to give it everything. And they have got fresh legs, Jim. And I think that this stage that this slender margin, that Peter Sims would not be that greatly concerned, Jim, because I think they've had a bit of run on this last 3 or 4 minutes as we see Simon Jones come away with the ball now and get down deep. And here's this man again, Capewell, but can't take this contest, but his strength and just bursts through the pack and holds the ball up. And we're at the maybe 27, 28 minute mark, Jim, so it can't be long to go. But if South Gambier could get something out of this bounce and get a goal, I feel sure going into half-time they would feel very confident. Ball goes up, Muldoon over the top, palms the ball away, but it's a free kick given. Darren Sims, he's within 40 metres of goal, and I would say he'd want to take a shot because the siren can't be far away. He kicks in deep. Where's Capewell? Jason Rowe over the top, tries to take the mark. I would have thought here that the ball's loose. Rowe, Harris. Rowe will kick this. He's got the ball now. He's running around. He's just maybe a bit too much. Michael Edwards is tackled beautifully. South Gambier get the ball hard here. Imperials throwing themselves in. Good tackling once again. Simon Jones comes out with the ball. Imperials meet him head on. They clear the ball away through just pure persistence. Comes back out here now. They're working hard on the boundary line here. They bring the ball down to where it's in front of us, Jim, here. Corey Jacobs and Johnny Clayton there. Mop up for South Gambier. Duncan McGregor but it'll be thrown in. The umpire has deemed that the ball went over the line, and there's a throw in with Imperials leading by 5 points here, Jim, at the 30-minute mark of the second quarter.
Gee, were they desperate in defence, the Bulldogs that time. Jason Rowe tried to get it, Edwards tried to get it, Simon Jones for South tried to get it, and Imps were able to negate them. Ryan in ruck against Sledder. No, free kick. And if you're going to start paying them, Darren, you're going to have to pay them all day. Schletter got it off to to Dean Jenkinson, the coach. Beautiful pass to Mawson. What a lovely kick from Jenkinson. Mawson in the centre circle. Will kick it long for the Bulldogs. Time running out in this the second quarter. They'd love one just on the siren. They lead by 5 points, and the mark's been taken out there by Michael Herman.
It's a long way away from goal, though, Jim.
As the siren won't be long away, kicked in short. Benny Dalglish has got it. He's already kicked 2 this quarter.
30 metres out, he's worrying Corey Jacobs with his pace, Jim. I think
very quick off the mark, and
yeah.
once he gets his body in front, David, he's hard to move, and this is a vital kick. It'll be virtually on the siren. Benny Dalglish has kicked 2, and he's kicked them both in this quarter from set shots, and this is probably the toughest of the 3. Ben Dalglish backing himself. He'll tell off the boot. No, it's going to go way right, and the distance just worried him that time. Out on the full kick in for South Gambier, and they'd be happy just to see it kept on the defensive side of the ground. With the clock going well over 30 minutes now, and this is the second quarter on KTV's coverage of the 1997 Western Border League Grand Final. Matty Fear, left footer, wobbles it over 50. Good mark taken by South Gambier that time, and cop one for his trouble too back there, and it might be Jones.
No, Adam
Salmon it is. Good call, David. Picking up Adam Salmon. Salmon right foot, back towards that scoreboard wing. Players wanted from behind. Imps had chance, couldn't take it. What can South make from this? Imps very good in defence. They get a free kick here, South Gambier. That'll be handy on half-time, and it goes to Dagger Harris. Brian Harris, brother of the legendary Kevin Harris, right on the siren. Darren Sims marks after the siren. Won't be paid. Tony Magira won't fall for that. And it will be taken off Darren Sims. Good call by Tony Magira. And at half-time on the scoreboard here for KTV's coverage of the 97 Western Border League Grand Final, South Gambier trail at 7-8-50. The Bulldogs Imperials are 8-7-55.
More out of everybody, fellas. Okay, we worked at it. We let it get away from us for a little while. Grand finals are all about it. We spoke about it plenty of time. You're in it, you're out of it, they're back. Right? Only reason that they got in front is we let them. We let them get first to the ball. Stop running. Right, we stopped running. You know, Mick took a mark at centre-half back. Not one fucking player. Not one player run off. That's not South Gambier. That's not our game. You remember it, Mick? Could not see a South player. What the fuck's going on? That is not our style. We are moving the ball quickly at all times. Everybody's running. All right, if you're having a bad day back there, and don't mean that your legs won't work, your mouth won't open. All right, there's other things that you can contribute to the team. Need all 20, fellas. Use it with our hands. They're not going to give it to us. We're going to have to bloody earn it. We're going to have to work for it. You don't want them to give it to us, fellas. That's right. Let's take it. We want to bloody take it. We're in a position now, 5 points. No, we want more out of you, Sticky. We want more out of you, Simon. All right, you're better players than what you're performing at this stage. You've got plenty left in the tank. Plenty left in the team. Well, remember, we did talk about we had to be around the mark at half-time, around the mark at three-quarter time, and then right over him in the last. I don't want to fucking wait to the last. I don't want to wait to the last. We want to do it this third quarter. Right, let's have a think about it. Grab a drink. Right, rest the bodies, keep the minds alert. Just have a yak amongst yourself. Okay? Back to that, fellas. That's right. Said we had. You know what these things like a lot? They always fucking live. That's what we've got. We'll make up the changes this round. Don't win every game. Yeah, please, Molly.
Don't worry about any other kicks, Johnny. Got one there, mate. One job, Johnny.
That's all. Turn it around.
Run off your
First thoughts are keep him under control, then we start going forward. Okay? Same with you, Johnny. Keep down on that, please, then we'll go forward. Right, we'll just start with Crockett, Leaky, Johnny. Right, half goes to be Molly, Mary and Mickey Mullen. Centre line will be Wizard, Muddy, Meadow. Half forwards will be Simon, Sticky and Fish. And full forward line will be Brad, Leroy and Dagger. With Mick, Paulie and Rowie. Right, so Paulie, you come in onto the ball. Okay? So you run out. Haven't had enough up forward. Straight in the midfield, plenty of run, play smart like you normally do. I want to see you get plenty of the ball, carry it through the midfield, bang it down through the Sticky and Leroy. Alright, so plenty of run, plenty of run. Same with Wizard, okay, same with Beto on that wing there. Alright, get that running game going again. Let's make sure carry the ball, get plenty of it, work hard at it. We haven't got the footy, you must be aware of where they are. Okay, Paulie, you and Fish and Dagger, okay? Half forward pocket. Right, where is Dagger? Okay. All right, Money will start in the centre there.
There's not much of a there.
Last one in 1996. This is the game that we've gone through the whole year waiting for. We are not going to let it slip. I kid you not, we are not going to let it fucking slip, are we? We're going to work our asses off this quarter. Every player is going to stay positive. Every player is going to start taking the risk. Right, we're going to put as many goals on that friggin' board as we can possibly get on there. Right, I want to lift out of you, Fishy, lift out of you, Paul. Right, you're the same. Rowie, Simon, Sticky, Muddy, Dagger, everybody. You know the way we operate best. Get into each other in the right manner, key each other up out there, so that we've got 20 players that are going to bloody bring the bacon home later on. Right, I see them about sticking with them to half time and three-quarter time, and then run over in the last quarter. That's bullshit now. This is a third quarter, we get on top. All right, we start working with each other. The backline players, I've had to talk to Molly and Johnny, they know their job. Clamp down. Baraki shouldn't be fucking pushing us out of the way. Let's play stronger on it. Okay, harder at it. One stage we didn't have a player in the goal square and the ball went through at head height. That's not the way we play. We play smarter than that. We get everybody working, everybody talking, everybody ginning each other up. We've bloody played a whole year. You're the players, you're the blokes that set the rules 12 months ago. This club wants back-to-back. You want back-to-back. You want back-to-back. What have we been saying, Mick? This is what we've been aiming at. We want back-to-back. Forget about all them other milestones, winning every game. Making half the game of football. Right, are you with me? We look into eyes. Before the game, we looked into each other's eyes and said, who's going to let us down? All right, so far, we haven't done the job. All right, we've got plenty there. There should not be one player here that's anywhere near stuck, anywhere near it, because we haven't friggin' done enough. And we're going to do a lot more this quarter. Everybody's going to lift. Everybody's going to use their voice. We play smart, get first to the ball. Our style's not to arrive second. Too many times today we're arriving second. I mean, we're not punching heads and knocking blokes over either. All right, so we arrive first to the ball. There's no tough stuff going on. All right, so get in and get the bloody ball and get anybody to arrive second. All right, we've got to make sure that common sense prevails.
Give them their best shot.
Play the percentages when we're coming out of the back line. Once we're on the attack, fellas, let's start taking those risks. Come on. All right, when we start attacking, let's start running down the ground in threes and fours, putting shepherds on. All right, giving a handball and then fucking back with the arm. Letting your player know that he's clear. You know, someone's going for the ball. Fucking put pressure on him. Say, it's yours, mate. You've got to get this. Say, Simon, we want to fucking grab out of you. Go for it, Sticky. You know, put a bit of pressure on each other. That's right. Right, let's get hard. Let's get fucking moving. Let's get goals on the board. Right, with goals on the board. That's what we're after. We've given no scoreboard pressure. No scoreboard pressure at all. All right? So So let's bloody start putting a bit on this quarter. Right from the start. Right? You know, plenty of players running, plenty of players bloody getting involved. We've had too many spectators out on the ground. There's plenty of them up on the fucking hill. We don't want anybody on the ground being a spectator. You're involved 120%. Right? Fucking work. You know, I've got faith in every one of you because I know the bloody sort of character I'm dealing with here. You know, only fucking 4 goals down last year's grand final for nothing. Right? I know the sorts of characters that we got here. You just play right to the fucking end and just find a little bit extra when we get into trouble. Right? I don't think we're in a great deal of trouble, but at the same time we're behind on the scoreboard. That's right. One kick. One kick, that's all it is. One kick, that's all it is. We'll get the first goal, and then we start bloody G'ing up. All right, we can't start 0-0, we start 5 points down. It's not a problem. We've been down plenty of times before, okay? Move the ball quicker, you know, Leroy's down over the back, Brad, bang, over there, he run onto a goal. It's just a matter of using your brains, okay? Simon, work a bit harder, okay? Work the Simon, even if you have to come up the half-back flank and get a kick, fine by me. Work over the whole ground. You're a better player than you show. I need more out of you, okay? I need you to bloody present yourself, go for your marks, jump over the fucking top. All right, if you're inside 50, have a crack at it. Let's get a goal out of it. Come on, you're the same back there. Let's start breaking their way. Let's start bloody encouraging players to run off. All right, Johnny and Molly, I know you've got jobs. When we've got the ball, let's start attacking. All right, that's the way we play best. Is when we're on the attack, everybody running. Molly, same thing. All right, keep working, keep running. Everybody up on your feet. Come on.
About to get underway in what should be a fascinating and competitive second half of football. The grand final for 97 on KTV. Western Border, the Doggies and the Demons. South Gambier, the reigning champs, trail by 5 points. Jason Rowe gets foot to ball and drives it forward on a mark to Simon Jones. Play on's the call. Jones hooks the Demons into attack. Capewell goes hard against Smart. The fast legs are wanted there. To the boundary line it goes, hits the behind post, and we'll throw in deep in that left forward pocket to open this the third quarter. The Demons trailing by 5 points. David Case.
I had the pleasure of listening to both coaches at half-time, Jim, and they were both very animated, and Peter Sims certainly called on South Gambier's senior players to stand up and be counted, and same thing with Jumbo Jenkinson. He was more reserved and quieter, but Peter Sims was certainly pumped up at half-time.
And we want to be too. The Demons need to work hard in this, the third quarter. They have the breeze, and they would want to lead at certainly a three-quarter time to put the issue beyond doubt, and the Imperials boys will be trying to stop that. It's on the right half forward flank between pocket and forward flank for the Demons. Are in attack left of screen with the breeze. A couple of goals it's worth in this, the third quarter. Free kick has been picked out close to goal by Tony Magira, and I think Darren Sims, the way he's walking back, will take the ball. And
this is just what they need, Jim. They'll need this goal. It's a very important goal. They got a goal very early in the first quarter, and they'll need one in this quarter too, Jim. I think that they'll need a... If they can get away to, say, an 18-point or above lead, it'll really make it hard for him in the last quarter.
This for the lead. Sims, casual off the boot. It looks as if it may have... No, it's a 50-metre penalty. He's gone over the mark, so he'll make a certainty of this one now for Darren Sims. And this will give a 1-point lead to the South Gambier side right on the start of this, the third quarter, here in the Western Border League Grand Final for 97. Darren Sims to give the lead back to the Demons. They trailed at one stage in that second quarter against the Breeze by 16 points, but a couple of goals just before half-time. Really invaluable, and Darren Sims does give the South Gambier side the lead. They go to 8-8-56. Imps are 8-7-55, and what a thriller we've got for you on KTV for the 97 Western Border League Grand Final from Mulseed Park.
Well, Jim, I can't see what happened there. Jumbo Jenkinson's is arguing with Tony Magira because, like, no one seems to know where the mark was or whether he ran over it. So he pointed to where the player marked the ground, and I don't know. Tony was obviously in a better position than we were, but the players seemed very animated about that.
Won't change it, David. You can argue all you like. They've got to refocus now and really go hard to prevent South Gambier getting a handy break going in on three-quarter time. But we're just underway in the third. Mick Ryan going hard against him was Shalecki. It goes to ground. Here's Bowie. Right foot kick in towards that half-forward line now. Dalgleish leads in the race for the ball. Tries a clever tap on it. Went to Barake. Barake kicks the ball back towards centre half forward. A good mark to Schletter, and an answering goal coming up now for the Bulldogs. And won't this be handy into the Breeze?
Actually, Jim, this This won't be easy to kick either, Jim, I don't think, because that wind's swirling around. You can tell by the flags down here, they're just swirling around, so it won't be that easy a goal to kick.
Well, Leroy Capewell resurrected South Gambier in that second quarter with a couple of very handy kicks into the breeze, and a chance now for Schletter to reply for the Doggies. It's a nice kick off the boot. Very good skills, and the lead is resurrected, taken again by Imps, and they go to 9-7. Second to Schletter. 8-8 are the Demons. A good answering goal into the breeze. And David, we've talked about the fact that Imps may run out of legs, and the fact that they've got the breeze in the last quarter. All the ponderables are happening, but at the moment they lead the ball game.
Yeah, Jimmy, I think that if we're being honest, that Imps have to be within contact of South at three-quarter time to have any chance, because last week's conditions will take something out of their legs. Umpire Tony Magura in the middle of the ground here at Mulseed Park, with Imperials enjoying a 5-point lead. They've both kicked the goal early in the quarter. Comes out here. Imperials bust their way through. It's handballed out here towards Jenkinson. He's on the end of it now, and he always has good skills. He comes out this time, though, just over Michael Mullins here, who overruns the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds. Just here in front of us, in front of the club rooms here at Mulseed Park, and the ball will be thrown in. Bonnie Patzell and number 17 and Brad Mawson go at it, and I think there's been a free kick picked out. Brad Mawson's going to take a free kick out of a 50-50 contest there. Both boys run hard at each other, but obviously the umpire deemed that Mawson was the player that was not the instigator of that contest. Number 21 now, Matt Bowie has the ball. He's well a long way away out. He goes across now to young Aaron Nesbitt, running down from half-back, and well done to the young lad. He ran 50 or 60 metres there from his half-back flank to mark 35, 40 metres out, Jim, and that'll be a fairly hard goal to kick there. I think he's kicking into the face of the breeze there.
It will need a good kick, but gee, a handy one. I don't think the distance is going to trouble him.
You don't believe so?
I think it's a matter of accuracy into this breeze, because he'll have to start it high. In fact, the distance will worry him. It will fall short, and from the side, a good mark. Mick Ryan comes in defensively, and an important grab in the pack. The hand pass wide, and they'll work it out of defence through Fear. Fear, long left foot kick back towards the wing. Coming hard, Harris, and that time Brian Harris took the mark, and don't give away a 50, Mawson, because you're well over it. And Harris will just run in and boot long and high inside towards the 50-metre line. It goes over the back of the pack, and South can't take control of it there. Trying to go in as Simon Jones, cleaned up beautifully by Manly. Very good player in the back pocket.
Yes, certainly is.
Gave it wide. Herman's in trouble. Goes back to Manly. Good tackle. Will there be holding the ball? No play on, says the umpire. The crowd wanted it, and finally a free kick will be given for too high, and Simon Jones will take the kick. And no 50. He'll kick it from just outside the arc, well into attack now for the Demons. High flyers wanted. Over the back of the pack, it bounces towards the points, and through for 1 point only. So South Gambier go to 8 goals, 9, 8-9, 57. Imps are 9-7, 61. Imperials to bring it back into the breeze. So South at about the 5-minute mark of this quarter still trail. They grabbed the lead for a short time, but Imps through Schletter got it back. And the chip pass goes in, and Imperials will drive it along that defensive scoreboard side. Going to the south, right of screen. Long kick, covers distance, no problem, to ground. They work it back, Mullen. Kicks in short, not taken. Just a turnover here. Sims got it wide. Duncan McGregor, the veteran, on the left foot, pops it up into the goal square, but sitting underneath it, no problem that time, as Herman runs out of there, kicks the ball short towards a steer. Over his head is a turnover. Jason Rose very quick, and he runs beautifully onto that. Right foot centering kick is okay, because McGregor gets the loose ball. He runs back onto that left foot from the 50. Long kick, McGregor. Capewell, where are you? Wrestling in the goal square. Free kick, Leroy, on a one-on-one contest. Well, tell me about that, David.
Well, Jim, I don't know. I didn't really see much in it, but then again, we're a long, long way away from the contest, and if the umpires, fair enough, they played one earlier on the other end of the ground, but if they're going to be consistent about it, they make sure that they do it for the whole game.
Leroy Capewell gives the lead back to the Demons. They are now 9 goals, 9-63. Imperials are 9 goals, 7-61. 2-point lead, and we are at the 8-minute mark of this, the third, and it's the 5th goal for the captain. Number 5 on the board for Leroy Capewell.
Had a significant input, Jim, hasn't he, Capewell? He presents himself well down there, and certainly needs a good player to stop him. And when Southgate get the ball moving quickly and get it down there to him on a one-on-one contest, he's going to win most of those contests.
Back in the centre we come, and what a handy one to this captain, already with 5. And they've been vital. A couple in that third quarter. In fact, he kicked 3 in that second quarter, and they were vital ones for the Demons into the wind. Umpire Darren Jacobson gets us away again. Capewell goes with the Schlahecki to ground. The ruckman got it that time. Leroy in there as McGregor, working hard in the traffic. Ball coming loose, a chance for the running player out there for Imps, and he gets it on the left foot, boots it towards half forward, but Mullen's on his own and takes a good tumbling mark. At full stretch, Michael Mullen.
He's been good back there, Jim Mullen. Been very good back there.
They've needed to be. They've been under siege, and they've got the breeze. Chips away short. And Harris is marked. Now Harris starting to get into the game a little, and the on-ballers for South need to. Rowe's been good, Ryan's been good, and Harris is starting to lift. Big leap from behind Jones. Comes to Glenn, who's well up the ground. Kicks inside 50, sitting under it. McGregor, is it McGregor or?
Yes.
It is Duncan McGregor. Not paid. Play on was the call.
No, I think he's paid it, Jim. I think Tony McGee has paid the mark.
Players fall on top of Duncan McGregor. He is not going to give it up anyway.
No.
Duncan knew it was his. And a kick to give them an 8-point lead at about the 9-minute mark. And another important kick. They're all important, of course, but this one for the lead of 8 points. 9-9-9-7 on KTV's coverage of the Western Border League Grand Final for 97 from Moleseed Park. It's the Demons and the Bulldogs in a very good contest. The champs, the reigning champs, wanting an 8-point lead. McGregor stabs at it, and boy, oh boy, sliced it badly to the left. Lucky to get a point in the end. They go to 9-10 to 9-7. It's a 3-point margin, South Gambier lead.
And generally, Duncan McGregor would kick those, Jim, wouldn't he? He's generally very, very good in front of goal, Duncan.
Grand finals, David, that's the difference?
Yes, they certainly do bring the nerves out.
Jenkinson, the coach, takes the fly from the back line, gets a shepherd from Smart and kicks it long, way outside the 50-metre defensive line. Hits the ground. Who's got it here? It's all South. They run with the ball. That's Winterfield. In towards centre half forward. It's all numbers there for Imps, but they can't take control in the air. The tackles go in on that, going over the top that time and getting a free kick for South Gambier is number 41, I think. No, it's not.
Dagger Harris.
It is Dagger Harris, number 4. In fact, it is Harris. Good call, David. Number 46, how are my eyes? Brian Harris has 46 on his back, and he'll take a kick for goal. Well, another important one. McGregor missed earlier from about 45 degrees on the right flank, and now Dagger Harris about the same angle on the left flank.
Imps are given a few free kicks away at the start of this quarter, Jim. They're at the body a little bit too much. They might need to concentrate on the ball a little bit more. There's a couple of crude tackles.
Dagger Harris, let's go, and it looks okay. It wobbles off the boot, but it looks pretty straight, and it is a goal. So South Gambier go to 10 goals, 10-70. Imps are 9-7-61, and we have played for approximately 11 minutes in this, the third term, and South have the breeze.
Yes, Jim, I think I just said a minute ago, and I'll reiterate it again, that you must play the football at all stages, particularly when you're kicking against the breeze, and they've given away a couple of crude tackles. That one by Jumbo Jenkins, and he crashed into Dagger when he was over the ball, and it was quite, he just a bit clumsy, so therefore they'll need to work hard on that side of their game. Ryan's really taken over in the centre of the ground now, Jim. He's lifted his work rate incredibly. The ball cones out here now towards Muldoon, and Darren Sims crashes through Simon Jones. Darren Sims onto his left foot now. Capewell's in front here. Good punch away by Smart there on Capewell, and punches the ball over the boundary line. So South Gambier now through Mick Ryan. Jim has really lifted a gear at the start of this last quarter.
He had a very good finish to the second, David.
Correct,
and,
I agree.
Carrying on from that centre square in that second quarter. When they needed a lift, he gave them one.
As Peter Sims, the premiership quarter. The third quarter is always known as a premiership one. Paul Mullen now gets his boot to ball very quickly, and Michael Everett stands his ground, but I'd say there's another free kick to South Gambier, Jim, because they are playing in front, South Gambier. That's all you can put it down to, putting their body in front, and once again it's Leroy Capewell, and he will go back to have a shot to kick his 6 goals, and what important goals they're going to be in the context of this game.
Leroy for number 6, and the lead of 14 points if he can convert. Rather 15 points if he can convert.
Free kicks hurting him, Jim?
Well, they're there though, David.
Oh, yes, yeah. I agree totally. I have no doubt about that whatsoever.
Oh, Leroy's good. He's very good. And he's accurate too. And 11-10-76. They start to slip away, the Demons. And next goal important for Imps, 9-7-61.
Just a bit clumsy, Jim, and maybe put that down to tiredness, do you think, or not?
Well, it was always the question mark coming in for Imps. They were terrific in that first half. They did a lot of work, but boy, oh boy, if they if South get the next couple, you just about say they could hang on.
Yes, I'd agree with you there, Jim, because we only played like 12 minutes of this quarter, and Mick Ryan has played a significant part in this third quarter. Start of this third quarter, he's been very, very, very good in the middle part of the ground. At it again is Ryan. He just, Jumbo Jenkinson comes over the top, but they're bursting through the pack there, McGregor and co. They really are hard at the ball now. Molly Patzel gets a kick down towards half back here. Imperials come out working hard at the ball, but by gee, South are in there in numbers. They really are hunting in packs now. They're hungry for this ball now, and Imps will really want to stand tall now if they're going to participate and perhaps run out with this in the last quarter. With the wind coming behind them in the last quarter, they will really want to stand tall now. The bounce, Jacobs has got the ball. He will bounce the ball right in between. Mick Ryan will be in there. There's players running here, there, and everywhere. Mick Ryan now goes in. And number 14 in Slater gets the ball away that time. South Gambier hunting packs. They're all in there on the bottom of the pack now. And the urgency's certainly there now, Jim, between all players. But he's picked out a free kick.
And it will be a free kick to South Gambier behind the play. Dalglish will be sent from the ground.
And let's hold on, Jim. There's a bit of action in the middle here.
Yep, that's where the action was. Benny Dalglish is gone.
Yeah.
Duncan McGregor comes up to give him a mouthful too.
It's a yellow card, and I tell you what, going into the breeze, Jim, going into the breeze, that is going to hurt them because Imperials had the ball. Imperials, it'll be interesting to see what happens now, but Imperials had a free kick. I think the free kick will still stand.
Well, how can that be?
Well, that's what I was saying, Jim. I thought the yellow card would have taken...
I would have thought so too.
Yeah,
interesting.
So, anyway, they're down to 17 men now, Imperials.
Oh, and they miss a mark.
And Molly Patzel now mops up through the back line now, and they're going at it hard now with South Gambier, are very hard at it. Here we come out towards Jenkinson now. Winterfield has good leg speed, runs onto the ball now.
Oops.
But they're hard at it now, these boys. Don't you worry about that. But I can tell you what, Jim, how much are they going to miss Dalglish and how are they going to handle with only 17 players on the ground?
With very poor discipline from Ben Dalglish behind the play. And Tony McGear, who was watching from about 5 metres away, he just grabbed his South Gambier opponent, threw him to the ground and constituted a yellow card. And that's indefensible in a grand final.
Particularly when you got the opposition going with the breeze and you're down to 17 men, Jim, it makes it damn hard.
It's interesting what they do with the loose man, South, and of course the pressure on as the mark has been taken by Winterfield. Took the mark in front that time of Herman, and the kick goes long towards half forward. Muldoon comes charging in and took out Adam Salmon, and there'll be a 50-metre penalty. And this, if Salmon can get up and kick the goal, will be invaluable.
Totally, totally undisciplined, Jim. You cannot do that. In grand finals, you must be at the football at all stages, and that is one area where South Gambier are very, very, very good at. They are totally disciplined.
A freebie against Jason Muldoon, and his coach in Dean Jenkinson would be outraged.
When you stop and think, Jim, that they've had a player sent off, a 50-metre penalty when the bloke was outside the 50-metre mark, Salmon has kicked the goal. There's no doubt about that. And I tell you what,
look at the lift that gave South.
This has blown this game right apart now, Jim. South Gambier currently leading at the 15-minute mark of the grand final of 1997. 12-10 to 9-7. So they are 3 goals, 2 points in front. And that is going to be a mammoth effort now. Imperials will really want to stand up now and be counted, because I notice that South Gambier is pushing Johnny Clayton forward now, because obviously he's the spare man that they've got on the ground now due to Imperials having 17 men.
And he's going down with him is Matty Bowie, and that's an interesting move. It does crowd the forward line. Jason Rowe copped one high, and he did get it high too that time from Brad Cooper, I think it might have been, or Abbey coming in from the wing. In fact, it was Cooper.
And what's that, Jim? About 6 or 7 free kicks in a row.
Well, you called it early. You called it early in the quarter, David, and you're quite right. And now they're really starting to take effect. 12-10, 9-7. We're just over the 15-minute mark of the third. The margin is 21 points. If they get another one, boy, oh boy, Imps, you've got some work to do. Jason Rowe, very lively rover. Geez, quick. The kick in short, the man running down from the fence. Fear will give this a fearsome ride. He does on the left foot, but he hooks it. It is long. Sims underneath is marked. And this is the shutout that they wanted, because they're in trouble, Imps. Darren Sims should just go back and kick a goal. He does, and he just centres the ball beautifully to Paul Mullen, who's almost been kickless, but he's got a valuable kick now.
I think he'll go back.
It does have to come back to Darren Sims, yep. And I think Sims is still a good chance from here. He's on the angle, but he's only 15. Well, not even that. He'd be about 8 metres out, probably about 12 by the time he kicks the ball. He's looking to kick it off, but he won't do that. He'll Yes, he will now. Oh, terrible. Kicked in short, and Imps should be able to clear up here. They do. Not a good option by Sims. That was a vital kick. Leroy Capewell out of the pack. It's marked by Manly in defence. Gee, got the ball to boot very quickly. And what's the call here? 50-metre penalty or no? Darren Jacobson says, I'm not having any of that. And the ball will be kicked in by the Imps defence. They kick it in short, and that's not well directed. Maybe the tied leg's starting to tell David the next goal. They want the next goal to the Demons, and that'll give them a very handy margin. Mick Ryan, too far out, I think, Dave.
No, he'll kick that, Jim.
Whoa, did he give it a ride? Did he give it a ride? Oh.
And I tell you what, Jim, that's one little nail in the coffin. I shouldn't call it too early because it takes a lot to win. But have a look at the South Gambier players running back into the middle of the ground. There's at least 9 or 10 of them there, and Mick Ryan has really stamped his influence on this game, along with the lack of discipline by Imperials in giving away those early free kicks and losing a player from the ground. And they've blown it right out now. 13-10 to 9-7, the South Gambier Demons in front.
From the bounce, Ryan goes again after kicking a magnificent goal. Imps want to respond, and they've got to do it in the breeze. The running players, Mullen is loose back there because Benny Dalglish was yellow carded, and that is really costing them at the moment. The kick wide goes towards Winterfield. Will he get a good bounce? He pulls it up just inside the boundary, then is taken out. Will it go downfield? No, play on Mullen. Mullen will go inside this time. Who's he looking for? Up towards half forward. Sitting in front is Imps. The ball comes to ground. Herman, he's under pressure to the boundary line. It goes. Harris uses the body very well, and it'll be thrown in. In fact, Jacobson's trying to pick out a free kick, and he has, and it'll go to Imperials, and a chance for Scotty Herman to put the Bulldogs into attack. And now, rather than defend, they need to score. Herman going towards that centre square. Loose men wanted, and they've got them. This is McGregor. Left foot is wobbly and high. Underneath it is Capewell. From behind, Smart, a good spoil. Capewell holds his feet, and that was crucial in the contest. Free kick will go against him. Somehow the man in front gave away a free kick. I do not know how. David Case.
I don't understand that one either, Jim, but Imps clear it out now, and it comes out to Brad Mawson. Mawson on the far wing now. Will bring the ball down, chips it in short, looking for a running player. Eddie Barak cleans up his own player there with his endeavour at the ball. It comes across here now, and Duncan McGregor brings the ball back in the middle, and this is where it's hurting him, Jim. That extra player. Simon Jones has stepped up. Duncan McGregor stepped up. Dagger Harris has stepped up. Simon Jones now drives deep into where Capewell comes over the top, can't take the ball. Imperials try to crash through the pack there. It comes out here now to Michael Edwards, and Michael Edwards is offline and had a golden opportunity to really put this game well and truly out of the depth of Imperials, but lucky for them, he scored a minor score only, and the scoreline now goes along to South Gambier. 13-11 to 9-7, Jim, and that's a significant margin at this point in time.
28 points is the margin, and the tired legs of Imps, because they had that tough preliminary final last week. Even though they'll come home with the breeze, you can't imagine that South Gambier, the pros of the competition, the champs of the competition, will possibly surrender a lead like this. The ball back towards half-back. Ryan in front. Leading from the front is Mick Ryan all day. Goes hands and knees. What a game he's had. And Corey, Jason Rowe goes hard on, and the free kick has been reversed.
Oh, that's shocking.
Jason Rowe kicks it.
That is a shocking
back
decision.
towards full forward. The play goes on from the side. It will be an Imperials marker. Yes, it will be. Good call that time.
Jim, that was a very ordinary decision. Two blokes out. That's why not just worry about it and just let it go. You don't reverse decisions over soft things like that.
Well,
anyway, the umpire's in a little bit different position what we were.
Salmon goes long, but he's offline, and they're bombarding that northern goal now, the South Gambier Demons. 13 goals, 12.90 to 9-7-61. It is getting out of the reach, and the next one, if they get it, South Gambier might just close the ball game down.
We're at the 20-minute mark, Jim, so there'll be still 5 or 6 minutes left in this quarter yet.
Easily.
And like a 4-goal lead is quite handy at this stage of the game. Imperials bring the ball back in now, looking up here to where Darren Sims crashes into the pack. Imperials work their way through, but through lack of numbers. Here's Jason Rowe. He stepped up too, Jim. Inside to Matty Fear. He's coming a long way down. Oh, beautiful vision. Absolutely superb. He picked the player out there in Mark Winterfield absolutely perfectly, Jim. He was centimetre perfect, and he just run off that half-back line, and Jim, that's where the problem comes. It's so hard when you play against South Gambier with 18 men, let alone 17 men. Mark Winterfield now.
Goal.
That's it, Jim, I would say, go as far as say now, with that goal by Winterfield, that has set up a golden opportunity now for South Gambier to really go on and win this grand final quite comfortably.
14-12 the scoreline, 14-12, 96, 9-7, 61. And the Demons have blown the game to the proverbial Scheisenhausen, as they say in certain radio stations, David, but we'd never say it on KTV, folks. 14-12, 96, 9-7, 61. Tony Magira back in the centre. What a quarter it's been for the Demons. They've kicked how many goals so far? 7 for the quarter, and Imps have managed 1. Ryan goes in. They have the extra man. Don't forget South Gambier. Benny Dalglish sent from the field. The ball given towards half forward. Coming out in defence, that man Matty Fear, who's gone up a cog, and Quinny's been very quiet, even if he's haven't even noticed him today, in fact, David.
No.
The ball comes wide. Here's a chance, and they work it very well to the D's onto that left foot. Back towards the half forward by Sims. Here's Jason Rowe, the little terrier. He's got it on the right foot. He chips away short, and they've got it again. Johnny Clayton down on the forward line. Good move, Peter Sims. Clayton goes long. Could have made himself a hero, but he's offline. Through for 1 point only. So it's 14-13 to 9-7. And inaccuracy now the only thing that can keep Imps in this game.
Should have went back and steadied, Jim. He was only 30 metres out. He should have went back and had a shot at goal.
Yeah, he was clear, David.
Yeah.
I don't think he was under pressure, and perhaps the option wasn't a bad one. It's just the kick was not good. Muldoon, who's been quiet this quarter, apart from giving away a 50, goes wide. Manley out of the back pocket towards half forward. Mawson's been quiet, but he got a bad knock in that second quarter. Working hard in there, Patzel. The boundary line will win out this time, and umpire Adam Gow will throw it back into play.
Jim, can I just mention a few names in this quarter for South Gambier? Capel, Rowe, McGregor, Ryan, Fear, Jones and Harris. Have they stepped up in this quarter?
But would they get a game in their B grade, David? This is the thing.
They really have stepped up this quarter, and one of the reasons why South Gambier have really stepped away in this late part of this third quarter.
Johnny Clayton's got the ball defensive side of the wing and kicks it back towards centre half forward. Will be short of that position. Good mark from behind, Scotty Herman. Red ball best and took a good mark. Scott Herman chips away, trying to find a loose man. Hard to do when you're one short, and Steer has the ball. On the mark, Winterfield. Now he's just holding it up, looking for options. Gee, the kick's high. That's going to make it hard for the forwards. From behind, Schletter, good grab. Youngster Chris Schletter, who's kicked a couple, and comes up hobbling. Not good news for Imps, but they need a conversion from this forward move. And he is definitely hobbling. The kick is very high. South defenders will crunch this one. In fact, from behind, they almost marked it. Comes to ground, they close it down. Mullins over the top of it. Clayton goes in, good tackle on Waters, and finally we'll have a ball up. It's about 25 from the Imperials goal, and they definitely need the next one, folks.
I tell you what, Jim, they're very slow getting up off the ground now, Wimps. They really are tired now.
14-13, 9-7, Schletter and Ryan. Ryan stood his ground to Steer. Steer gets a left footer, but it's high and not very handsome. Punch from behind. Look out, runners are away. It got on towards Edwards. Edwards is beautifully shepherded. I couldn't pick up the shepherder, but he'll take some praise from Sims. It was Sims indeed. Bradley Sims to ground. It goes Muldoon. They should have made more of that. The kick from Edwards again, not good. They work it fine. Manly under pressure from Darren Sims. Kicks it wide and back to Bradley Sims, who takes the mark. He's got in the centre, he's got Winterfield, he's got many options. He boots it long, goes for the long option. Harris has taken under the ball. The race is on. Jason Rowe is quicker than Thomas. Rowe can't quite get clear. Was he tripped? Was he pulled down? No. And finally, Imps work it out through Muldoon. They come to this, the clubhouse side. Good kick to Steer. He needs to make something of this. Steer on the run. He goes 10, he goes 20. Kicks it towards half forward. From behind, Schletter again up high. Good mark in defence. Clayton, I think it might have been. It was.
He's
Clayton,
been very
terrific.
good too. Been very good, Clayton, because he's been on his own most of this quarter.
Edwards sits under it in the square. Closing into time on by a minute. They must hold them out if they're going to have any chance. Edwards goes wide. Mullen coming late on him. That time was Manley. No, in fact, might have been Herman. Nesbitt it was. It goes to Salmon. Salmon works it inside 50. Sims. Here's Cape. Well, look out. Leroy to Mullen. Mullen steadies from about 25, and good night. That's the ball game. South Gambier are home, and we're running into the third quarter. 15-13, 103, 9-7, 61, and they have blown it wide open now, the Demons. The run in this quarter has been sensational.
And Jim, I mentioned to you, I heard Peter Sims speak at half-time, and he singled out players like Jason Rowe. He singled out Duncan McGregor. He singled out Simon Jones, Dagger Harris. He asked for a big effort from those guys. Mullen. He asked for Paul Mullen for a bit more, and all those players have responded in this quarter. Has he put it at half-time? The premiership quarter, and that's certainly what it's all about.
And they know all about premierships under Peter Sims. This will be the fourth, David. This will be the fourth. 92, 94, 96, and back-to-back consecutive in 97, the Ds. Ryan. Harris. Good defensive stuff, Manly. That was good stuff back there. Left foot kick towards that outer side, but they're defending desperately, Imps, and that's not getting them on the scoreboard at the moment. That's what they need to be. They can't rely on the 2 or 3 goal breeze to bring them home in the last quarter. South try and work it forward, but a good smother. This is Mawson. Can't go anywhere. Gets up. Kick towards half forward. Running players wanted. Mullins back there with the loose man. Inside he'll go. Look out, Imps, if they make something from here. Sims. Fear, and he's on the run. Through the centre he goes, kicks it long to half forward. Jones will sit under this and mark. And they're doing it easily now.
Jim, a lot of players are standing up now to be counted, South Gambier. They've got every single player out there who's contributing in some way now, and like when you stop and consider that Wayne Glynn has just stood back most of this quarter and marshalled his troops beautifully from that full-back position, and the players in front of him, they've certainly done a great job, and their midfield, their run through their midfield has been sensational. Their movement of their forward line, and if they had a kick straight at Jim, they could have really been a lot further in front.
15-14 or 104-97-61 is the scoreline, and they are home for all money. And we're only, well, it's only the third quarter. We've just played 29 minutes. We've still got a quarter of footy to go and a little bit more. But you just can't see Imps raising the occasion. No. Cooper from behind. Good mark. Winterfield, who held his ground.
Take a miracle now for Imps to come back from there, considering what they've been through during the period of finals.
And South will just chip the ball around. Sims running down off the half-back line. Now, dangerous time for Imperials. They are under siege at the moment, and another goal here would really wrap it up. Kick in short is very good. Jones got loose. The kick might have been actually for Harris, but Jones chipping across took the mark.
Just got loose players everywhere, Jim, haven't they, really? They're just... that extra loose man, Peter Sims, and with his, has really exploited that. He's pushed players forward. He's got them leaving their lines now because they know they safely can, and they're really hurting the Imps Footy Club now.
Well, when you look, when Dean Jenkinson looks Ben Dalgleish in the eye tonight, David.
Yes.
Kick from Jones is a corker. Oh, what a gem. That was very special, Simon Jones. And it goes to 16-14. Beautiful kick, 110-9-7-61.
It's certainly been the premiership quarter, Jim, hasn't it?
49 points is the margin, David.
And it just goes to show that South Gambier have really stamped their authority on this grand final, Jim, and you don't go through the minor round undefeated if you're not the best side in the competition. 9 goals to 1. We have 9 goals to 1 in this, the third quarter. Tony Magira gets us underway. Baracus on the ball. Ryan, they both miss it. McGregor gets a fist. The siren will put Imps out of their misery in the third, and they can regroup a little at three-quarter time, but the ball game's beyond them. Here's Mullen. Mullen charging through. Long hand pass towards Patzel. Beautiful pickup. Great skills, Patzel. He's run down on the tackle. Comes towards Jenkinson, who's been very quiet this quarter, the coach. Yes, he has.
But he'll get a free kick, mainly because he is the coach.
And you could say that because you're an umpire,
and
so you know that.
Yes, we know when to give it.
There'd be written rules for that.
Kick by Jenkinson, right in the forward line. From behind, Quinn almost got his first kick of the match, but he didn't, and a good tackle is put on that time, and there'll be a ball up well inside 50 for Imps, and South will be happy just to close it down. We have gone 31 minutes in the third, mainly because South have kicked 9 goals.
That's exactly right, Jim. They've only kicked 1 goal this quarter, Imps, and South have certainly raced away with it during this quarter.
Tony Magira bounces down. Ryan goes with Barake. South get it through Clayton. Kick it high. From behind, who was it? Simon Jones came over the top. He goes again, Jones. Great second effort. Ball goes to ground. Players fall on top of it. Clayton's there. He's pulled off it, and something happening in the clinches? No. Umpire very quickly on the scene, and that's good umpiring to get in there early.
Yes, Jim. Break it all up, bounce the ball, and get it out of the road. Bounce up here now by Darren Jacobs. He puts the ball down with the 31-minute mark of this third quarter, and South Gambier got a comfortable lead. Ryan pumps the ball forward. There comes Sims now, streaming away on that left boot. Looking down here for Capewell. Comes over the top. Muldoon's in there. Capewell's in there. They're fighting hard for the ball, and umpire Jacobs will come in and bounce the ball right on the 50-metre mark here, deep in South Gambier's attack, Jim.
Leroy Capewell had the audacity to appeal for a free kick there. And to be offended when he didn't get it is even worse, Leroy. Give us a break. Darren Jacobson bounces inside the 50-metre attacking line for South Gambier. The ball comes to ground. Here's Muldoon. Muldoon off the half-back line. Better kick it, he does. High and up and under. Goes towards that left half-back flank. But South have got the runners. Glynn gave it to Jason Rowe. Jason Rowe has a bounce. Steadies, kicks on that northern goal and has popped it through. On the siren, if you don't mind, 17-14, 116 to 9-7-61. They've kicked 10, David Case, for the quarter.
Yes, they certainly
and a
have.
Great three-quarter time lead to the Demons.
I don't know whether they've heard the siren or not, Jim, have they? Or is the siren going?
Well, I called the siren. It
Yeah,
may not
so
have
did
been.
I.
My apologies. I thought I heard that, and it's 17. Unfortunately for Imps, it's not the siren. 17-14, 9-7. We've got to go again at about the 34-minute mark of the third quarter. My apologies, folks. I thought the siren had blown, but it's not three-quarter time. Barrate got the hit to ground. Jenkinson going in hard. Get a free kick to coach because he didn't have the ball that time. And that's the siren right now, folks. 17-14, 9-7. The score won't change. It wasn't that far out. 116 plays 61 at three-quarter time. What a great quarter by the Demons. They've kicked 10 goals to 1 in the Premiership quarter, and they're home for all money at Mulseed Park.
One quarter! That's all it is, fellas. One quarter. Talk about 12 months! Finish him off! Win this quarter again. Don't let him score this quarter. Bring it around this way so you're not facing in the sun. You've got to go on top of that. Win this quarter now. Good work. We've done everything asked of us at half time, but it's three-quarter times, fellas. Got 1 quarter to go. 30 minutes of hard footy. Right, everybody had to lift. We talked about at half time, every player had to lift. Right, everybody did. Unless we bloody take it upon ourselves to do those jobs. Finish it. Right, we're not going to get more of the ball. First to the ball, everybody running, and that's the difference. We've got to take that into the last quarter. Rowie, good legs there. Good work there. The ball is good work, Brad. Right, Simon? Much better, you know. We're looking for some of that. It might take us 3 quarters to get it, but you've just got to keep working at it, and it comes. Right, everybody's got to keep working at it. Wayne, you know, the handball out to Rowan, the running down the ground. Well, we talked about taking risks. You've got to take those risks. You know, Sticky better, Leroy down there, you know. Good. And we just need to make sure you keep leading up. If we've got nobody there, you've got to come up the ground. You know, allow the players, the smaller running players to run through. Like Marley and Johnny. Johnny, real good discipline there, you know. 3 or 4 years ago, you probably would have decked that bloke. But now you realise you've got to keep your head, concentrate on it, right, and just make sure that we keep getting the footy. Concentrate on the footy. One last quarter, fellas. 12 months ago, you blokes set the scene. You blokes said, what are we going to do? We're going to do back-to-back. Right? We want back-to-back flags, and we're not going to get it until we get 30 minutes of hard running. Right? Richie Adel, he'd like to be out here. Michael Fox, Michael Sims. Those 3 blokes have worked hard as well. Right? So this time, one last 30 minutes, they're not going to lay down. They're not going to give it to us. Right? They're going to give it their best shot. It's a grand final. Come on. We've got to still do the work. If you get one of these up, it lets them back in. They get 1 goal, 2 goals, right? We don't let them back in. We go on the attack, percentage football, not right at the start. Keep attacking, keep running hard, right? Once we get a bit further into the last quarter, then we can probably make sure we keep control on the footy. Play smart. One last quarter. Finish off, finish off.
Last quarter, Western Border League Grand Final 1997. What a quarter it was in the third, the premiership quarter for the Demons. They really stacked it on, kicked 10 goals for the quarter and have given this game a real shake now. And the Demons will cruise home, we would suspect, for the rest of this game. But Imps go into attack. They won't lie down and get a free kick here. Mawson, I think it is, will kick into attack early in the last quarter.
And they'll be still down to 17 men too, Jim, I'd say, for the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Mawson chipping in short lead. Muldoon's in the forward line, but it's cut off by Mullen. Muldoon doesn't hold his feet. They go over the top of him, and there'll be a bounce up just on the 50-metre arc for the Imperials side. The Bulldogs trail at 9-7 to 17-14. And
they've pushed Muldoon forward now, Jim. They've got to take every risk they possibly can.
Well, they've got to keep going, David. That's right. And, there's a chance, I suppose, until you're in it until the end, but needing to do something creative. Ball comes out the back this time. Players in the race for it, and Mullen got there first. Got a lucky kick. Hand pass was very suspicious, but it came off to Edwards. Edwards' has long kick towards Capewell. Capewell gave the nudge to Smart. Heads into the open goal. Leroy, go Gabbo, and he's hit the post. Oh, what an anti-climax. How's the speed of Lee Capewell?
Sensational, Jim.
Oh, one of the runs of the season.
He put the foot down, mate. Pedal to the metal, as they say it, and very unlucky not to kick a goal.
Leroy Capewell misses the first minus score on the board for the last quarter, and South Gambier get it. 17-15, 9-7. Good mark, Mawson. In front of the scoreboard on the outer wing. Kicks it long. Here's Barake, being quiet Barake basically. Free kick. Play on Imp, so they get the running play. Barake's left foot kick's interesting. For Steer, comes to ground. They work it away. Matthew Fear chips it away beautifully this time.
Simon Jones.
Jones kicks it wide. Racing for the ball. In here, we've lost him just in the shadows of the post, as they say. David, I'll be holding the ball, thank you. It could be an Imps free kick,
yes.
And it is.
Bradley Sims.
Sims freed against that time. Imps go forward. Mark Pay to Schletter. It is indeed.
This lad's had a go, Jim.
A very good player, isn't he, David?
Very good player. Good athlete.
South will go and recruit him next year. Really make it a contest, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Schletter kicks in short. Running player. Very nicely done to Steer, who's been very good, David.
Yes, very good indeed.
Played very well. Right foot kick in towards half forward, and the whistle's gone. It'll be an Imps free kick because Jason Muldoon was dealt with unfairly, and Muldoon will kick from inside the 50-metre arc. We're 3 minutes into the final quarter. 17-15, 1-17, 9-7, 61. 10-goal third by the Demons. Jason Muldoon within kicking distance.
Generally a nice kick at goal too, Muldoon. Generally a nice kick at goal. Should kick this, Jim. This could be the turning point of the game.
Stutters, stabs, accurate, good kick.
Nice kick, Muldoon.
And the Demons 17-15, but Imps get the first goal of the final quarter. They race along to 10-7, 67. And David, I guess if we're trying to make a case for the Imperials, we'd have to say that they've got a lot of work to do. But in the meantime, they've got the first. Now they need another quick 6
or 7 in a matter of 5 minutes, and we're back in it again.
Back in the ball game. But they'll, knowing the Imps tradition, they won't lie down.
They are very, very high on tradition, Jim, and they certainly won't.
From the centre again, Tony McGarry gets us underway. Mick Ryan in ruck. Chris Schletter goes again. Very high Schletter again. Very impressive game, Schletter. To ground. Mawson wrapped up in the tackle from McGregor, and we'll have another bounce. 17-15, 10-7, and we've played for 4 minutes in the final term. A 7 goals, 8 lead. Total of 50 points. In the grand final, you'd expect the team in front to pretty well hold on to that. Schletter and Ryan to ground. Ryan got it. Long hand pass to no one. Cooper besieged. Taken to ground. And we'll have another bounce. Adam Salmon wrapping him up in the tackle. Saying, you're going nowhere, Brad.
And this game now, Jim, it will be very interesting. There were some tired boys out there, particularly from the Imperials Football Club. And South Gambier now will be really wanting to finish this game off. The bounce down, Ryan and Slater comes out here to Paul Mullen. Fumbles the ball at the last minute. Aaron Nesbitt gets the ball out here for Imperials. He comes across here to Steer again. They've got good players. Comes out to Slater. He's been very good today. All around the ground. It comes down the area of Barak, Muldoon and co. Over the back, big Eddie Barak. He runs onto the ball. He's got some pace too, Jim. And the big fella storms through the middle of the pack and kicks a very, very good goal. 2 goals in 2 minutes, Jimmy. Can they come back?
They
That's
want 6 in 6 minutes, don't they? 17, 15. They're on target.
That's 3 goals to Big Eddie Barak, and he is what maybe Leroy Capewell is to South, although I do believe that Leroy's a far greater talented player, but Eddie is certainly having a red-hot dip for the Imperials Footy Club down there in the forward line.
17-15, 11-7 as we go to the 5-minute mark of the final quarter. So Imps getting a couple. They needed them, and looking okay, but still a long way to go. Tony Magira back in the centre. Mick Ryan's on the ball. He'll stay there most of this final quarter. Tries to grab it out of the edge. Jason Rowe trying to work hard. Thrown into the ground, and Tony Magira again intervenes and says, I'll bounce the ball, guys. Third quarter.
I think Rowie thought he might have got a free kick.
Big third quarter by the Demons to set this game up for them. A couple of quick goals by Imps, and they're desperately trying to get back into it, mainly from the pride point of view. I think no real ambition of winning the game, but if they can do something in the last quarter to make it a little bit more respectable on the scoreboard. 17-15, 11-7, but it'll only take a goal from the Demons to break their backs. And a free kick out of the centre will go to Schletter. Hand pass to Jenkinson. Jenkinson indecisive this time. Finally cuts back through the middle. He hasn't given up hope. Kicks a long ball inside the 50-metre mark. Going back, Muldoon. Almost got the mark. Running onto the ball was Mawson, the boundary line looming. And they know, and Mawson goes into the crowd over the fence. He might make a hurdle of it. Over the fence, and they need to take every break they can.
This back got run over by a car.
And throw in deep in the left forward pocket for the Imperial side. And the umpire just clearing some spectators from the ground. That's fair enough. We don't want them hurt. As Mawson went charging in then. We're underway again. So Imps, if they can get another one,
yes,
then another one, you never know. Veer, long kick back towards that defensive left back flank for them, and that's all they need to do, the Demons, just tie it down, let the clock run down, because Imps have to make the running with tired legs, and who knows, it's just a big ask, and I'm sure they'll run it out, but 17-15, 11-7. It's going to be a very difficult task for the Imperial side. The third quarter set it up. They kicked 10, the Demons, after trailing by 5 points at half-time. And what a quarter it was. 10-1 in the third.
Mick Ryan again, Jim, very strong in those ruck contests. Very, very good in the 50-50 clinches. Comes down here towards the South Gambier defence, who have been fantastic all day. And look at the work rate there of Mick Ryan, Jim. In the ruck contest, on the bottom of the pack, grabbing player, throwing him to the ground, and an absolute lion-hearted effort by Mick Ryan today, Jim. And I know it's only early yet, but by gee, I tell you what, he would have to be very close to best man on the ground.
Oh yeah, him and I thought Rose played well. We know the captain, Capewell's played very well also. Talking of Rowe, here he is, going hard at it, not getting the run that time. Well done by Thomas. Kicked the first goal for Imps today. On that left foot he goes in front, and that's where you want to be. Good mark by Chant.
Certainly held his position well. Come across to Duncan McGregor. Duncan McGregor goes out the outer side now. Wayne Glynn's on his own out here. Muldoon will pick him up and stop him playing on. But Glynn goes back in board down to McGregor on that favoured left foot of Duncan McGregor's now. Goes around the outer side wing here, looking for someone out there. But in their way is number 11, Benny Dalglish, who's back on the ground again, Jim, now. So Benny Dalglish comes in board here looking for the coach. Oh, great mark by Jenkinson.
Well, that's what I'd be doing if I was Dalglish, kicking it to the coach.
Handball, kick it to him, do anything you possibly can. And then when you have a shower tonight, get in the car and go home real quick, I think, Jim.
Brothers Jenkinson. Boy, Jumbo's got onto one, but he's going to be offline, and that's an indicator, I guess, of the breeze. Still reasonably strong. Couple of goals to the left of screen, and Imperials using that in this final quarter. But 17-15, 1-17. They're a long way behind Imperials because they're on 11-8, south of 17-15.
Once again, who's kicking in? Matty Fear's kicking in.
Yes, Jim kicks it wide to Winterfield. Winterfield on the run. Who'll he give it to? Chip it up onto this clubhouse side. Glynn from behind. Good grab, Wayne Glynn, over the top of Muldoon. Had the sit.
He'd be enjoying
oh, goodness me, it's going the other way.
You're joking.
No,
really?
I'm not.
Oh, I thought...
Interesting call. Maybe we didn't see it. Gee, looked the mark to me.
Yeah, certainly did, and he's obviously paid the mark, but he's paid it to Muldoon.
Well, it may have got first hands and Glynn took it over the top, but it didn't appear that way. But the umpiring's been very good, and they've both picked up this one. And it'll be a 50.
Oh, right.
And Schletter copped another one. Gee's been in the wars. He's played a gallant game, this kid, Chris Schletter, and he'll kick a goal with this kick.
Did you think that was late, Jim?
Well, it was touch.
Just high, I suppose, wasn't it? Really? It nearly caught the ball, so... And if they've been... One thing I'll give the umpires, Jim, they've been consistent with that, haven't they, really? Like, they might have been 50-50, but at least they called it early, and they're still calling it at the 10-minute mark of the last quarter, so at least you can't ask any more than consistency.
Well, it's interesting, David. It's like 17-15, 11-8. He kicks this as 12-8, and they were playing one short, weren't they, in that third, when Dalglish went off.
They certainly were, Jim.
They're not playing one short now, so you never know. 17-15, 12-8 is the scoreline. And it's back to 37 points, so who knows?
That little passage of play where Imps were highly undisciplined, and they lost Dalglish through a misdemeanor there where he hit someone off the ball. And Jim, as you know, it's above the shoulders, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
But the good disciplined sides will win every time.
Well, you look at the scoreline now. They've got the first 3 goals of the final quarter, and who knows what it may have been had Dalglish stayed on the ground.
Oh, of course.
But they're all ifs and buts, but it's back to 37 points. And who knows, they get the next one. They've got the first 4. And a free kick will be against Imps for intruding on the square, and they didn't need that break. Nick Ryan gets to fly from the centre circle, boots it over 50 towards full forward. Players want it here. Jacobs is on the ball, up in the forward line now. Edwards gets a kick out of the pack. It's a bounce he wants. Bounces high in the square. Look out. Sims holds his feet. To ground it goes. Players fall on top of it back there, and Imps will defend desperately, and they'll run it through. No, they won't. They'll keep it alive, and finally Brad Cooper takes it through for a point. 17-16, 12-8. Well, they're desperate back there, Imps, and that goal certainly would have put any revival to death, but they didn't get it. Cooper kicks into the man on the mark. Comes in short. Mullen. Hand pass to no one. There's some tired players. Capewell in front. Tap on Clever. Imps defend it well. To ground. Manley's back there. Sheldon Manley got it to Smart. Smart goes for the safety of the line. Still in play. Abbey. The legs are good at the moment. The kick long from Abbey was across ground, though. They want Steer to do something special, and he has been very good. He'll lose Edwards, and he does it nicely. Comes back inboard. Kick towards the centre square. Clayton got the sit. From behind comes Schletter, but overran it. Fear got the handball, but it went to no one. To ground. Players fall on top of it. And South Gambier able to get a neutral ball going here, and they're in a bit of trouble there for a while.
They've got some tired boys out there now, Jim. They've really had a really fair dinkum dip at it. The whole 40 players out there have given it everything they've possibly got.
17-16, 12-8. It's the Demons and the Bulldogs, and we've played over 10 minutes. We've played about 12 minutes of the final quarter, and a free kick will be given to South Gambier. Jason Rowe. 17-16, 12-5, and Imps just need to make every possible loose ball or neutral ball to their advantage, but the kick in by Rowe coming down is Duncan McGregor, and they'll just hold it on. And a 50-metre penalty against Brad Mawson, and I didn't pick up why, David.
Slater run through, Jim. Yeah, unfortunately, what happened was Duncan McGregor stood there, and then as Slater went to run off, he just stepped behind him. A bit unfortunate with Slater because he was running in a straight line.
And it's 2 50s now, David. He'll put him on the goal line.
Someone else must have said something, did they, Jim?
Well, I don't think he came back quickly enough. All
right.
Well, there was a bit of a resurgence, but Tony McGear put that to rest because Duncan McGregor will kick his first in the grand final. Currently 17-16. This will put it to 18-16 to 12-8. McGregor, point blank, bang. And a very handy goal from a 100-metre penalty. Interesting.
Yes, Jim, it was a bit unlucky by young Slater there because, good work by Duncan. He stepped back and let him walk in front of him. And, of course, as you know, you can't run across the mark like that.
Bugger of a rule.
It is a shocking rule, I think. I don't know who made it up.
Technical.
Yeah,
Gee,
you feel sorry for the players in the context of the moment.
I think the umpire should judge whether, it's absolutely planned.
Yes, that's what I mean to say. And I feel sorry for him, but the decision is there. It's in the rules, and the umpire called it correctly.
Did indeed. Can't do any more than that. Darren Jacobson gets us underway. The umpiring been fine this afternoon. Not a problem. No influence on this game. Benny Dalglish leaving the ground on the third has cost Imps any chance. Brad Cooper almost run down that time, but the ball kicked wide. Scotty Gould went hard at him. The ball's now on the half-forward flank. Mullen takes on Abbey with a very good hip and shoulder. In trouble back there, the South Gambier defender, but they get it wide. Mullen will tidy up. This way, that away. Hand pass it on very nicely. The running player's Patzel gets through one tackle. Left foot towards the 50-metre line. Coming out in front and marking is Scotty Gould. He's fresh on off the bench. He's dragged down. No players go down. The Imps player got hurt. I think he took a kick in the head that time. Off from the heel of Scotty Gould. Unintentional. Edwards has run down. He'll get a free kick for a trip. Edwards. Not the best kick in the world. Kicks it inside 50. That's not bad, though. Mullen almost from the side. Jason Rowe desperate for a goal. And they tie him up, and Tony McGuire says, we'll call it neutral, fellas. 18-16 to 12 out of the 15-minute mark. There's no revival coming, folks.
It's certainly in the safekeeping of the South Gambier Football Club now, Jim. They will certainly go on and win this grand final, win back-to-back, and win both the reserves and the senior grand final on the one day, and the first Sunday grand final in the Western Border Football League. Imperials now get the ball clear, but here's Mick Ryan in the way. Mick thumps the ball back into where the back in towards centre half forward, where beautiful work by Mullen. Crossed to Winterfield. He'll just walk in and casually kick another goal. That was great vision by Mullen there, by Paul Mullen. He really did set that ball up beautifully for Winterfield. And Mick Ryan back here in the middle of the ground here just certainly stood tall and just belted that ball back into the forward line from absolutely nothing. So once again, another good goal by South Gambier. They move on now at the 16-minute mark of the last quarter. 19-16 to 12 goals, 8, and they are definitely well and truly on their way to winning back-to-back flags in 1997.
19-16, 12-8, and what a great kick. I don't know, David, I can't quote directly here, but did he kick a drop kick through then?
I doubt it, Jim. I don't think he'd do
we might have to look at the replay to have a look at that one. But Darren Jacobson back in the middle, 19-16, 130, 12-8, 80, and the Demons have got the last two. To put it beyond doubt. Brad Cooper from Jenkinson. Long kick by Cooper. Inside 50. Good spoil by Glynn. Waters tried to take it. He couldn't do so. Players come off it this time through Chant. Got it wide. Patzel works inside. Does it well. Wants to kick it and does. Kicks it to a nest of Demons out there where McGregor just chips it wide. They work it through Fear. Fear on the left foot is good to Mullen. Mullen's been quiet. He has a bounce this time though, and Darren Sims will put the shepherd on him. He does it well. Inside it goes. Through Sims, Bradley Sims it was, got it to Scott Gould. Gould lets go a big bomb from just outside 50. It is just offline and through for behind. 19-17 the Demons, 12-8, 80 are the Bulldogs.
It's just about all over, Jim. We're at the 22-minute mark, and I think that...
17, David, actually.
Sorry, Jim, I do apologise. Your eyesight's far greater than mine, even though there's sometimes they doubt you on a Saturday morning when you're umpiring the under-18s. But I won't argue with you. The ball comes in now. It's kicked in by Jenkinson right down the middle of the ground. He's looking for something here special. They come in hard at it now. Oh, good work there by Imperials. Note that player's got hurt. That is Herman. Comes out here to number 11 and Dalgleish, and he's been caught beautifully. Good tackle. Good decision by the umpire. And David Chant, when you get within an area of David Chant, very rarely do you break away from him. The back line's been good of South. They've been good all over though, Jim. They're a sensational football side, and it's going to take a very good side in 98 to get anywhere near if they continue along the same vein as they have been for the last 2 years. The ball's free now here for Winterfield. He comes in on his right boot now towards the centre of the ground. It's a non-contest here because number 5 in Brad Cooper takes a chest mark and will relieve the pressure for Imperials right in the middle of the ground. Cooper now trying to find someone. He might go out to Barak. No, he won't. He'll go longer than that. Goes inside 50 to where Slater, who's taken a real buffeting today, puts his hands up, tries to take the mark. Sims mops up. South Gambier have numbers here, particularly through Michael Edwards. He fumbles the ball a little bit. Him's hard at the body, but Edwards holds his footing. Comes in here towards Corey Jacobs now, and Paul Mullen. In goes Nesbitt. Good boy. Well done. Good vision. Kept his feet and looked for someone down here. And number 12 now in Michael Steer, and Steer goes out. Oh, bad luck there. Wayne Glynn will mop up. He won't make too many mistakes. Comes out to Darren Sims. On to Matty Fear. Had a big last half. Into the middle of the ground now, looking for Corey Jacobs, and Jacobs takes a well-judged overhead mark. Duncan McGregor now. He lays the ball at McGregor, strides through the centre of the ground, goes out wide looking for Simon Jones. Jones is out there along with Winterfield. Gets the ball back inside to Winterfield. Scotty Gould, who came on earlier, he has the ball now, gets around the ground, takes a long right foot kick in here looking for Capel, but poor skills by Gould. He should have used the ball better there. Just blazed away. It comes out here. Imperials have the run. Jason Rowe chases greatly in here now to Thompson. And a great tackle. Absolutely sensational tackle by Jason Rowe. No wonder he's the runner-up to the league best and fairest medal. He's a great player, young Rowe, and that effort was certainly outstanding.
Very quick, isn't he? Kicks from the right half forward flank, inside 50. Capewell in front from behind. Smart, no free kick, comes to ground. Ball handed by Gould. Gould got it onto Corey Jacobs, and Corey Jacobs has kicked the goal. The fullback has kicked the goal. Thank you very much, says number 7. I like that one. And they move along now, South Gambier to 2017 to 12 goals, 8. And that was terrific play.
And when things go right for you, Jim, they certainly go right, don't they?
Well, Imps made a bit of a challenge at the start of the last quarter, but it's beyond doubt now. 2017 to 12 goals, 8. And it's been that way since about the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. 2017 to 12 goals, 8. The Demons cruising.
What are we now, Jim? Are we 19 or 20 minutes? Can you tell me that? Because I can't see that.
We're at 20 minutes.
Thank you very much. That's really nice of you to let me know that. Slater gets the ball down. And there's a free kick given to Slater by Jim. He's had a lion-hearted effort at this young lad,
Very
hasn't
good
he?
player.
Would be close to their best player, do you think?
Well, I think he's nearly been best on the ground, David, strange as it might seem.
He's played particularly well.
This boy's played well too.
Yes, Steer. Been very, very good indeed. Comes out to Eddie Barak.
And he's been missing a bit, Eddie.
Yeah, he's
doesn't do enough for mine.
Played in patches.
Looks good for him, for 5 minutes every now and then, but not enough.
Benny Dalglish.
Oh, here's the villain.
Yes, Jim.
God, Benny, what you did today. Because you're in it up to Len. Dalglish kicks in short, and the mark has been taken by guess who?
Yes, Slater. Good work rate. Just had it all the time.
Slater. What
And
a
not
good
only that
player.
too, Jimmy. He's copped a real buffeting too. He's been down 3 or 4 times, and he's still holding his leg now. But the young lad's got a big heart, and he's still going late in the last quarter.
And if he kicks this, it'll be just desserts, because he's a very, very good young player. Is Chris Schletter kicking on goal from about 2 or 20 metres out, and Schletter will kick for goal and put it on its way. Gives it a right. It's pretty good. It's going to come back left. It's another goal to Schletter. How many's that?
That's 4 he's kicked, Jim.
He's kicked 4 today, Chris Schletter, looking very, very good. 20.
And he's rucked very well too, Jim. So he's played all round the ground. He's moved around and had a very good duel. And like Mick Ryan, we talked about Mick Ryan being sensational. Well, this young bloke has certainly been maybe equally as good as what Mick has been. 2017 to 13 goals, 8. It's a 7 goals, 9 is the lead, and it's 51 points. And they've looked pretty good today, the Demons, after especially that second half, the big third quarter. And up to Len. Imps have matched them, but gee, did they get a hammering in the third. Schletter goes again. Darren Sims against him this time. Steer, who's also been very good. Steer kicks on right foot. Barak's being held, but he takes the mark anyway. And we're over the 20-minute mark. We're at about 22 minutes. And this is Eddie Barak. Kicks in short, running player. Oh, good courage.
And it was
courage.
Steer again.
Yes.
Good
We've had
kid.
yeah, Jim, and when you stop and look at them, they have some young players, and so does South Gambier. We shouldn't take that away from them either, but the young players of both sides are very, very good, very talented young players.
The kick from Steer is going to drop short. From
Tired
behind,
legs,
in
Jim.
front, and taking a good defensive mark that time. As he drags himself up is Michael Mullen.
Be high up in South Gambier's best players too, Jim. Michael Mullen.
Yeah, to Duncan McGregor, the veteran, who's played very well. He'll probably settle up again next year, Duncan.
Particularly, Jim, when you stop and think in that first quarter, that's when Mullen was real good, actually, when he stood firm.
When they needed to be.
Yes.
The kick from Duncan McGregor is long towards half-back, and the mark has been taken for them by out there. Who's that?
Simon Jones.
Has taken the mark.
Played pretty well, Simon, after half-time. He had just a little bit quiet early, but one of those players that stepped up after half-time. Scotty Gould underneath the ball here. Imperials run back here in number 10 in Scotty Herman. South Gambier come out through now. Good work here by Mark Smart. The fullback comes down to where Matty Fear and Simon Jones is juggle up between. Eddie Barak gets his big hand onto it. Imperials fighting hard in here now. Players coming in from everywhere. Once again, Simon Jones. Scotty Gould, who's just come on late in the game. He works hard here along with Simon Jones and Aaron Nesbitt there. But Jones, casual as you like, steps out of the But there's Chris Slater again.
Whoops.
Again, Jim, he stepped up and just take another nice mark. Goes wide out there looking for his teammate in Dalglish, but Dalglish gives a free kick away. Playing behind, Paul Mullen put his body in front and paid the reward by being in front. So Paul Mullen now will get the ball. Michael Mullen making a strong lead down the far side, but he ignores that and goes in short to Dagger Harris. He hasn't been seen much, Jim. Dagger has been in and out of the game a little bit, stepped up at the start of the third quarter, but haven't seen much of him this last quarter. Goes along now, up towards where Capel and co are. Simon Jones, good work by Slater again, got the ball out. They tackle hard and strong there. Simon Jones onto his right foot, smothered beautifully by Imperials. Aaron Nesbitt comes out now. Comes out wide towards the centre wing here. Coming onto the ground was Michael Evans through the interchange bench. Gets his right foot towards centering where Capewell. No, it's Scotty Gould, sorry. Scotty Gould takes a good mark, and he will kick on goal from about 30, 35 metres out. And how would you like a player like this coming off the bench, Jim? 6'3", 6'4", can run and jump and kick, and would be a handy player, wouldn't he, coming off the bench?
Scotty Gould for goal number 1 and goal number 21. Oh, it's a shocking kick by Scotty. Off hands in the square, look out, they raffle it here. Capewell might have got his foot to it, but he's over the line, and it won't count. It'll be a point. So 20-18, a 138, 13-8, 86.
We're at the 25-minute mark too, Jim. We've only got time on to play. Hasn't
Well,
been
they
a
were
great deal
about
of
to hit
score.
the front last year at this time, weren't they? In the grand final, a very different game against another Hamilton team, the Hamilton Magpies. But this year, not a contest after half-time. Up to Len, good contest. Michael Edwards runs back, kicks on the right foot, inside the 50, and Mullen will mark. Coming late on him was Manley, but Sheldon Manley holds up Michael Mullen, Paul Mullen. Mullen chips short, and he finds Harris. He's getting a few kicks, but getting cheap ones at the moment. And Brian Harris will kick from about 30 metres, so 35.
A bit of an angle though, Jim. Might be easy as what it works.
He might be further out than that.
Yeah,
He is further out.
yeah, he is actually.
And he chips it in short. It doesn't matter. The lead coming from down there in Salmon. And he takes Jenkinson over the line. Harris goes over the top. Herman goes in on him. Look out, boys. Could happen here. Umpire Magira walks in and gives a free kick to Brian Harris and says to Dean Jenkinson, don't do that in a game I'm umpiring, because it's a free kick when you hold on to someone who hasn't got the ball. It's fairly elementary. Salmon. I'd like to see them pay that too. It stops that scruffing. In short to Gould. And Scotty Gould would be no certainty to kick this at all.
Not on his last effort anyway.
Well,
Jim.
that was a tougher kick. He probably will.
Yeah.
What'll he do? He'll have a shot on goal. Scotty, why not? Currently the scoreline 20-18 to 13-8. It's 17 more scoring shots to the Demons. And he will kick. Scotty Gould. Well, got onto it okay. It'll
And
just
he
come
has
back, and
kicked
it
it.
does come back, and Scotty Gould gets his first in the grand final. 21-18, 144, 13-8, 86.
Not a bad kick, Jim. Not a bad kick at
You're a
all,
ripper.
actually. That's a nice kick from there.
And he liked that. He enjoyed that, did Scotty?
Jim, at this period of the game, we'd just like to perhaps say that once again, South Gambier have stamped their authority in this Western Border League. They certainly are. Not just this champion team here, but they're the champion club, Jim, aren't they? Really?
Well, you look at it.
Their
Yeah.
under 14s, their under 16s have both won premierships. Their under 18s got put out in one of the finals, and their reserves, and now their seniors have gone on and won premierships. What a fantastic achievement by a beautifully run club, very disciplined, very well coached, very well administrated in every facet of the game. I think they're showing the other clubs a clean pair of heels at this stage and at this period of the late 90s, Jim.
Yes, well, you feel for people like Bobby Attawell, who has been very loyal to the club, and then now they're really tasting the success of having a club that's, as you say, David, well organised both on and off the field.
And to people like Keith Dixon and his committee and those people that work really hard, and particularly Peter Sims, because ultimately he is the #1 coach, and he's obviously set the plans and put the concrete down, and now they're putting the walls and the roof on out there, and it certainly is congratulations to everyone involved out there, and sincerely I think that they are the envy of the league, Jim.
Have to be. A steer kicks on goal and puts it through at the northern end. 14-18, 92, 21-18, 144. We're in the death throes of the 97 Western Border League Grand Final from Mulseed Park here in Mount Gambier. And the Demons are going to record back-to-back consecutive premierships, 92, 94, 96 and 97 under Peter Sims. And it's terrific stuff for the Demons. And they will celebrate tonight at Blue Lake Sports Park.
Might have to go to work tomorrow though, Jim. Tomorrow
Well,
being Monday.
I reckon any boss who sacks you for not being at work tomorrow is a bum. Not an original quote, folks. 21-18, 14-8. Magira back in the centre. We've played 29 minutes, in fact. It'll soon be over. The Demons will soon be celebrating if they haven't started already. Jenkinson couldn't take a trick. The ball didn't bounce for him. Players going in. Darren Sims is in there. Tony Magira intercedes and says, I'll bounce it.
good job by the umpires,
Oh,
Jim?
fine, yeah, fine.
Did a great job, yeah. Although both sides, apart from that period in the third quarter, have just been at the footy most of the day, haven't they, really? They've just done a good job.
And that's the nature of footy these days,
Yes,
David. Very
certainly.
seldom do you see it any other way.
Yep.
Some people say that's not a good thing. I don't agree. I think it is a very good thing.
Yeah, and obviously that South maintained their cool and just kept working at their game plan and lifted their work rate a little bit after half-time and certainly won the premiership quarter. Is it commonly known in football, the third quarter?
Well, we'll never know what well, we know significantly how it was when Dalglish went off. We'd never know what it would be like if he'd stayed on, but you would suspect that Ibs was still well and truly in the game.
Yeah, and the thing about it was, mate, was that you know, it just allowed South Gambier to have a free running player.
Bowie will kick a goal for Imperials on that northern end. No, he won't. He'll miss almost completely. Kicks a point to go to 14-9, 93 to 21-18, 144. The Demons doing it well. Leading by almost 60 points at this stage, so lead it comfortably.
And once again, Jim, we must compliment the crew and backup crew here at KTV. Done a fine job again for the South Gambier Football Club, and we'd like to thank those people because their coverage of the game and their expertise on the production and everything else like that is certainly greatly appreciated by everyone involved, and hope that you enjoy the video.
21-18. You will if you barrack for South or you play for South. 21-18, 14 goals, 9. And the siren is about to blow. It'll sound this afternoon and record a very good victory for the South Gambier club. Ball on the goal square. Muldoon misses it. Gwynn goes for a hand pass just to tie it up, and he does it well. Not conceding anything. 14-10, 21-18. And the Demons will cruise to a grand final victory any moment now in 97. Courtesy of KTV, you're watching this replay, the video of the game. And I reckon there'll be 21 copies for sure.
There certainly will be, Jim. I think that every one of these players would like a copy because it'll be something that these players playing today for South Gambier will have very, very fond memories of.
Ball to be kicked in by South Gambier for out of bounds on the full. Looks like Paul Mullen way back there.
Yes, it certainly is, Jim.
May not be, but it certainly looks like him. He kicks in towards the scoreboard wing on the outer side of the ground. Players fall on top of it over there. Imp's very tired, but they've battled hard. And just a better side as one on the day as Bowie picks up and chips in towards half forward. Good lead from Waters, and he's got the mark. Will kick from inside 50. And this young man won the seconds, Western Fairest.
So he's doing pretty well to play in the grand final today, Jim. Obviously fought his way into the
Well, they had their under-18s in the grand final too, David. So
they've done really well, haven't they, Imperials?
And they won that, of course.
So we must compliment them. They've got 3 teams in, so like they've got 2 teams in, they've done very, very well indeed. But at the 32-minute mark, South Gambier 21-18, leading Imperials 14 goals, 9. I think the score will be as Wayne Glynn comes away now. Looks for Corey Jacobs. And there's the siren, Jim, and I'll leave it to you to have the last remarks on the 1997 grand final here at Mulseed Park.
The final scoreline, 21-80, 144 to 14 goals, 11, 14-11, 95. A good result, well, great result for the South Gambier side. And the crowd rushing on, their supporters running on to join in the celebrations with their players. And Coach Peter Sims on screen now. And what a performance by Speed. Hug from Timmy McGrath. They played together way back in the late 70s and early 80s. And Peter Sims, the victorious coach of the South Gambier club. That's premiership number 4 for the coach and his side. And what a terrific effort that has been. And congratulations all round for the South Gambier Demons. 21-18 to 14 goals, 11. And David, quickly, you've got the goal kickers there.
Yeah, Jim, I'd just like, before I read the goal kickers out, I'd just like to... there's 3 young lads out there today who missed out from South Gambier. 3 fantastically talented young players. Richie Adderwall, who got injured in the semi-final. Michael Sims, who done a knee really badly early in the year. And young Foxy, who had a work accident. Young Michael Fox. To those 3 young boys, I think that this would be some consolation for the horrific injuries that they copped during the year, and certainly Peter Sims made him a big part of it. Goal kickers for today's game, for South Gambier. The captain himself and led from the front, Leroy Capewell, was 6. We then have 2 goals to Jason Rowe. Singles to the following: Bradley Sims, Mick Ryan, Darren Sims, Harris, Salmon 1, Winterfield 1, Paul Mullen 1, Jones 1, McGregor 1, Jacobs 1 and Goulds 1. And for Imperial, Slater got 4. 2 to Dalgeese, 2 to Barak, 1 to Muldoon, 1 to Waters, and 1 to Thomas.
Well done, David. Good summary of the goal kickers there. And, of course, the final scoreline, 21-18, 144 the Demons as they celebrate to 14-11-95.
Who was your best players, Jim? Who would you give your best players to?
If I was giving, look, strange as it might seem, if I was giving a medal for best on ground in the grand final, I'd go to an Imps player, number 14, Chris Schletter. I thought he was sensational. I thought Steer on the wing was terrific for them. And a few good players across halfback. I thought Mawson battled hard, as did Bowie, but really for South Gambier, how would you pick one above the other? We know Ryan was terrific, Rowe was terrific, of course, and there's the ruckman in the rover, so that sets you up, doesn't it?
That's exactly
Leroy
right.
Capel, when it needed to be one, was sensational. I thought Matty Fear did a terrific job in the back line. Many players, I thought Edwards coming on and off the bench was absolutely terrific for the Demons as well. We had players across Mullen, as you mentioned, Michael Mullen.
Yes, Jim, well, I reckon when the game had to be won in the first quarter, he was the player that really stood tall, him and Wayne Glynn particularly.
Terrific player, and you know, Michael Mullins, as you say, David, just fantastic. Well, the final scoreline, 21-18, 144. Imperials 14-11-85. Well done, David Case. Good call of the game.
And thank you very much, Jim, and congratulations once again to the South Gambier Football Club.
Winning the A's, B's, and Imperials winning the under-18s. But it's signing off now from Mulseed Park with 21-18 on the scoreline. Imperials 14-11. Another premiership to the mighty Demons.
Number 5, Jason Rowe. Number 7, Corey Jacobs. Number 8, Michael Mullen. Number 11, Duncan McGregor. Michael Ryan. Michael Edwards. Number 15, Mark Winterfield. Adam Salmon. Number 20, Darren Sims. David Chant. Number 22, Paul Mullen. Bradley Sims. John Clayton. 32, Matthew Patzel. 38, Matthew Fear. 39, Simon Jones. 42, Scott Gould. 46, Brian Harris. 'The runner, Michael Deathlaw. 'And the captain, Lee Capewell, and coach, Peter Sims.
Mr. Bob Templeton from the Victorian Country Football League to announce the winner of the WBFL medallion for the umpire's vote for best player. Thank you, Brian. On behalf of the Victorian Country Football League, congratulations to both teams. Naturally, South are up in the air, having won another one. But well done, Ebbs, for making the grand final and making a contest. The Victorian Country Football League medallion today has been chosen by the central umpires and goes to Michael Mullen of South. Well done, Michael. Yeah, okay. And again, ladies and gentlemen, again, the Alexander and Alexander, the WBFL insurers, have made available the trophy for the winning coach. And whilst Peter's now got a sideboard full of these, well done again, Peter, for wonderful effort, bringing the team on again for this year and having a dual premiership with the first and second. Well done, Mike. And now I'll call on Mr. Ian Ross from the Glenelg Football Club to present the pennant. Thanks, Brian. On behalf of the Glenelg Football Club, I'd like to acknowledge both teams, the Imperials Football Club on reaching the grand final, and the South Gambier Football Club on a fantastic year, undefeated of course in the minor round, and of course in the major round being a fantastic result today for the club. So to the winners, well done. To Bob Attawell, Keith Dixon and Peter Sims, well done to all the players, and have a good night tonight. Well done, South Gambier. Only one thing left to do to present the Premiership Cup for the 1997 season to the President and the coach of the club, Keith Dixon and Peter Sims, to the Ward Emerson Cup for 1997. Well done, gentlemen. That's the Perpetual Cup. This is the other cup that goes to the club. This is the cup that stays in the club, and it'll be there for perpetuity. But congratulations, Keith, once again, and Peter and Leroy. It's your night. Enjoy it. Thanks, Norm. And I don't know what to say. We've won back-to-backs, and hasn't been done at South Gambier before. To the players, Peter and Leroy, captain of the side, and you players were just great in the third quarter. Commiserations to Imperials. Maybe you had your turn a couple of years ago, it's our turn today. Thank you very much. Bring the players up, want all the players up, all the players up. Just on behalf of the South Gambier Football Club and the players, we'd like to thank Keith and the committee. Commiserations to Jumbo and Imperials, worthy combatants, and it's good to get the back-to-back at last, so well done, thank you. And just while we're doing that, I think everyone here this afternoon will congratulate this team again, because it's the first time in the Western Water League that a team's gone through undefeated and won the flag. Congratulations, boys. And while we're on it, we'd like to sincerely congratulate West Gambier, Jill Hosking and the West Gambier Committee for a magnificent effort they did with Molesey Park this afternoon. Thanks very much, Jill, and to everyone else. Thanks very much.
It was a credit to you as a team to work all the way through pre-season, knowing that our aim was to be back-to-back premiers 96-97. Today at half-time, we had our backs to the wall a little bit. We're down on the scoreboard. All right. I mentioned a few things at half-time about the character of the players around the club, around the South Gambier Football Club, that really shone through today. And I'd like to congratulate every one of you 20 guys.
So much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
You know, they set themselves a goal 12 months ago, all made a commitment that they wanted back-to-back, and to get 96, 97 back-to-back was absolutely, you know, wonderful. You just couldn't ask for more. Everybody worked really hard at it, and in the end, we got there.
On the grave, I've been kissed by a rose on the grave, and if I should fall,
Tremendous day for South Gambier, and won the reserves and the seniors, and our third quarter today is probably one of the greatest games I've seen the South Gambier Football Club play.
so much you can say, you remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Now won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen?
Really do believe that hopefully we can look forward to the next 5 to 10 years and still be a force in the league, you know, for some time.